To lead the Skol chant and sound the Yaller horn, please welcome the 31st Adjutant General of the Minnesota National Guard, Major General John Jensen.
Well, hello, this is John Randall, Minnesota Vikings legend, and it is my pleasure to say, Minnesota Vikings fans uncensored, are you ready? Keith, get your people up. Let's go. Skol, 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 baby. Let's go.
Yo!
Let's go.
What up?
What's up, fellas?
What are we
and
doing?
hello, Vikings fans. I'm Michael Fish. That handsome devil right next to me is David Rinaldi. That handsomer devil down below us is Cody Bowden. Keith is running a little bit behind, which we're all kind of used to. He's just a little bit behinder than normal, and Shaq should be pulling in any time now. So, as those of you that are already watching know, we had to do our show a day early because, you know, the little ghouls and goblins are going to be out tomorrow night. And, so speaking of Halloween, boys, what's Halloween like for you guys these days? What do you like to do for Halloween?
This year, I haven't really dressed up many years. This past 2 years, I'm dressing up. This year, I'm dressing up as Beetlejuice. I got the full wig and the costume, makeup, the tux to go with it. I'm gonna hairspray the hair out and surprise the wife because I didn't tell her yet, but she's going out as what's the girl's name? Winona Ryder's character, Olivia Dietz. She's going out as Olivia Dietz, so I'm going to surprise her coming out when I get back. I'm gonna full dress at work and then drive home and then surprise her as I enter the door. I'm like, hey, the juice is loose.
Shake, Shimona.
Good for you, man.
Such a classic good movie.
Halloween's good for younger people, man. I'm too old for Halloween at this point. I always liked it, but I mean, carving a pumpkin when you don't have a kid. We live in an end of a dirt road. There's nobody around. I don't even get trick-or-treaters anymore, man. So Halloween, as much fun as it had been for years and years, ain't much of a holiday for us old folk.
Yeah,
I mean, the kids in your town probably go up to the end of the dirt road and be like, "That's old man Rinaldi's house."
Yeah, they don't do it. They don't do it.
It's like when lightning strikes in the background.
Yeah,
I heard they killed a bear.
Yeah, he's got a pet bear in there.
Well, this is actually the first time in, maybe 15 years where I'm actually going to give out candy. I'm actually going to do something for Halloween. Everybody keeps trying to get me to wear a Shrek costume for Halloween. I don't get it.
I see
but,
it.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a little fun this year. I hope the rain is supposed to come tomorrow during the day. And I hope it gets away by the time the trick-or-treaters start around here. I want to see some good little costumes. You know, see the ones that I really like and really load them up with some sugar. So we got a recap of the Rams game. We're going to preview our Sunday night game, another prime time against Colts. We got to check our panic levels. And we're going to take a look at the NFC North in general and do our weekly hot takes. Keeping on that Halloween theme, I'm going to start with you, Cody. If this year's Vikings were a Halloween costume, what would it be?
I might piss a lot of people off with this, but I'm going with Pinocchio because we want to think and wish that we are real. Hey, but at the end of the story, he does become real, right? He does become real. But right now, going against the Rams, I mean, their receivers came back and really exposed our defense. So right now, I'm kind of teetering towards the level like, hey, maybe we aren't that good just yet. Just yet.
Love that answer.
Who do you have, Rinaldi?
I got Charlie Brown, man. It was a no-brainer. Charles Schultz is from Minnesota. Keeps trying to kick the football. Kind of piggybacking off of what Cody said, man. They may not like that, but hey, it is what it is. We're Charlie Brown until we kick that football. Maybe this year, maybe next year. We'll see.
I am going with Cinderella because we went to the ball. The clock struck midnight. We took off. Everything reverted. Now the question is can the prince find her and put the shoe back on?
Dig it. Dig it.
Yeah. SKOL, Travis. He passes out honey buns.
Put that up on the screen. We're the honey bun house. Travis, we want to get some honey buns this year.
Man, I'll tell you what, I'm coming by for November 1st breakfast, if that's the case. SKOL, Dean. All right, we're rolling in. Let's have a little more Halloween fun. David?
Yes.
What kind of candy are the Vikings handing out?
Well, I think, the Vikings are to me, are a similar candy to something you're like, I'll eat that, I guess. But, I'm going to go with Almond Joy. You either love it or you hate it, man. At least the nut saves the Almond Joy, I guess. But I'm not so sure.
Deep dark chocolate. Cody?
So I was thinking about this all night last night. It literally kept me up till 2 a.m. thinking about what candy we are. Like I decided, like, how do I make this script and make this candy sound good to us? I'm going with the most middest candy you can ever eat, and it's the Three Musketeers. Like every single year, it is the only candy in the bite-sized bits that it comes in, still in the wrapper, that sits in the bag or your kid's bucket, and it gets left in a closet somewhere until mid-January or February to when you finally got to throw it out. All right, what happens in December, January, and February? Vikings kind of get thrown out of the playoffs, right, in that first or second round. So I'm with the Three Musketeers. And every time you bite into it, you think the taste is going to be different every year. It's not. So when you bite into it, you got to pretend like you eat it. You like it, right? You have to pretend like you like it because you have to finish it now.
There's Three Musketeers. What's going on?
Those Three Musketeers, though, is when you do eat them, you're like, is this stale? I can't tell. Is this stale?
Stale?
I like Three Musketeers. I mean, I don't think I ever bought one, but like I take it from my kids' candy bag gladly. But yeah, I don't think I've ever bought one.
I was going with root beer barrels, guys.
I like those. Why root beer barrels?
Well, because they're that candy where you either old and like them or young and we're like, what the hell is that? Cody's going root beer barrels.
What the hell is that?
I don't know.
It's a little hard candy that tastes nasty, kind of like.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've never heard them called that.
SKOL, Lucy. But
I thought right now your fish are going to be Werther's butterscotch bites.
I almost picked Werther's butterscotch bites.
Or the apple or the strawberry candies in that little strawberry wrapper.
Those things.
Bit of honeys.
Bit of honeys are killer, man. I like them. Underrated.
But I mean, it doesn't have to be a bad candy. I mean, the team isn't that bad. I got us as a reverse Sour Patch Kid. Because first we're sweet and then we're sour. We start out hot and then we get sour at the end of the damn thing. So hopefully that changes, for the whole season outlook, though.
Guys, my phone is blowing up with this World Series thing. I think the Dodgers just tied it up. I'm sorry to say. I can't find it anywhere.
You don't have a TV in there?
No, I couldn't get audio. Sorry.
SKOL, Alex. And yes, candy corn.
Candy corn. I like candy corn. Ooh,
Case Keenum.
What? Case Keenum is great, just like candy corn is great. Like, where did the candy corn hate come from? Is it just because it's so readily available and it's there every year? What the heck is wrong with candy corn? Seriously,
it's not good.
What's not good about it?
It's just sugar. It has no flavor. It's the tofu of candy.
There's a reason.
Flavor.
There's
It's
a reason.
sugary.
There's a reason it's the only candy eaten once a year.
That's fine. It's not. Only candy canes once a year.
I will say this though, regular candy corn I'm not a fan of, but if you look on Amazon, there's a blackberry cobbler candy corn that is gooder than shit.
That's a good one, Lucy. SKOL. All right, well, let's jump into it. I'm going to start off with some bad news, and that's, of course, Christian Darrisaw, diagnosed with a torn ACL, torn MCL, out for the season, something that none of us wanted to hear. We always complain about our offensive line, but we've been pretty happy with our offensive tackles, and this really puts a damper into it because it's what kind of kept us sane, and it's kind of what has allowed Sam to hold the ball for 4 seconds. How much of a gut punch do you feel this is going forward, Cody?
It's pretty huge. I mean, you can't replace that talent. You can't replace that production at that end. And it's the second most, in my opinion, the second most important position on the field next to the quarterback. And being Sam Darnold, who Sam Darnold is, without him, I mean, we did have a replacement. Without him, though, it's pretty big news, pretty big gut punch to me.
Naldi?
It was at the time, man. I mean, it was like season over. Like I remember being on the thread and text the season over, man. But look, in retrospect, I think there's a lot of positives that are still going to happen to this team. We're going to go over some of them as the show goes on. But at the end of the day, this is still a 5-2 team in a very weak NFC. And the reality is that there's no reason to lose hope at this point just because of one player. It takes all 53 to make a run at anything. And as hard as that is to swallow that pill, I think we just got to go. We still got to stay up and go for it. And as fans, I think we need to stay behind the team because they're not giving up. And I don't think we should either.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. And I'm kind of getting there, but it definitely was a big gut punch to me because, I mean, when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be kind of minor. Okay, man, he's maybe going to miss a week or two, but then you find out, oh, damn, it's for the season. And I think that's the biggest loss this team could have suffered, like as far as, trying to go deep into the playoffs or have a successful season. Like, I think that's going to be a bigger impact than like if JJ was to go down, even Sam Darnold was to go down. I think this is a bigger impact. But I do think the team has kind of, made a move, and we'll talk about that in a minute, that kind of brought my hopes up a little bit. Like, you can't replace Darrisaw, but, you could still be, good at the position. What about you, Fish? Did it change your outlook at all on your expectations for the season? Did your win total go down?
No, and actually, the reason I'm not that down on it is because, the left tackle is inherently the second most important position. But I don't think that it's really that important in the long game. Because when I think about the teams we're going to have to go through in the playoffs, most of these teams don't have a pass rush. Okay, Atlanta, no pass rush. Detroit, no pass rush. Not on the edges.
Not now.
Not on the edges, right? These teams in the NFC, at least, there's a lot of them do not have a pass rush on the edges. We get into the dance, we might have a problem with Washington on that front, but most of these teams don't have it. So while it's not great to have our freshly minted left tackle, who could be really good in this league, go down with a season-ending injury, I think it's not going to affect our fortunes so much moving forward.
Look at us being positive Viking fans.
What else you got? What are we going to do? Just throw it in, man. Let's go. Let's SKOL.
Let's SKOL, baby. I mean, we faced a lot this offseason and during the season. So this is just another one to add to the list that is going to make, the end story even better. So we did go out and we made a trade for Cam Robinson of the Jaguars. I'm going to be honest, not a name that I heard of before, but, I went and did a little research on him. We traded 2006 fifth-round pick that can turn into a fourth for him, but we also got a seventh-rounder back in return, which that can go away. It all depends on playing time. He's been a starter, I think, for 8 years with the Jaguars. He's had 91 starts. He's only 29 years old. Was taken in the second round. He's got that Alabama pedigree. Cody, what do you think about them going out and making this trade?
I mean, it's the best you could do, in my opinion, for what they got him for. It's a pretty solid trade. I think it's still a solid trade. I mean, there's 0 draft picks coming in this year, and it's a 5th or it's a set, whatever. We get a 7th back, and it could become a 4th. I'm okay with that. 32nd offensive tackle in the league, so it wasn't, like the 50th offensive tackle league where you're getting kind of like below that mid-tier. Like right now, we got a mid-tier left tackle, and I think he'll be good up with the one-on-ones unless it's a actual really good edge rusher, and they send 2 on that side instead of just the 1. I think then we'll have some trouble. But for right now, what we got it for, I think it was pretty solid pickup.
What does the trade tell you, Rinaldi, about how Kwesi and KOC and company feel about this team?
Bro, the reason you're asking that is because it's pretty straightforward how they feel about the team. We're a 5-2 team, and they're not going to just roll over and die. I don't think Quisenberry's a full-time starter. I don't think slipping Brandell out to the left is a real viable option in the long run. He's playing too well where he is, and we know that every piece of the line matters. At the end of the day, we got this guy in for nothing. It's a typical Kwesi value pick. I mean, the guy is an NFL caliber starter. Let's just call it what it is. He's worked on franchise tags. We can be we could call it what you want, but it didn't cost us almost nothing. What's there? $2.7 million to the Vikings cap out of the $9 million because the Jags picked up $7 million of it, and the draft picks are 2026. I'm not going to sit around worrying about a 2026 4th versus 7th or 5th versus 7th. That just doesn't matter. We put a viable NFL player on the field, and we can now run our offense the way we run our offense. I would say that the thing that I noticed the most when Quisenberry went in is that we went to a 12 package, right? 2 tight ends. It got stiff and tight, and it's not the offense that we run. So it was pretty obvious that we had to do something. Thankfully, I think we came up with a really viable, good option. If the guy plays even, I don't want to say half as good. If the guy plays up to expectations, it's great move. Great move.
Right. And getting Hawkinson back should help because now we can put Oliver over there on the left side too and, help him out if needed to give Sam 4 seconds. I'm going to keep saying that because the guy has more time than anybody in the world to throw the ball. I still can't hit the open receivers. I don't want to get too negative yet. But were you happy with this one, Fish?
Well, yeah, and for one reason specifically, because I was looking at the game versus the Jags, and I was like, we're not going to have any motivation for this game, but now we're going to have a revenge game. Right? So now we've got that motivation to go into this game. We've got a revenge game. We're on it, doggone it. I was thinking trap, but nah, we're going to have chalkboard material. He's going to give hints on the offense. It's a stopgap measure. It's a Band-Aid, and it's fine. I think that Kwesi and O'Connell believe that we're going to win this year, and this is a sign. They could have let it slide, and they could have done with what we have, and maybe prematurely put our 6th round draft pick, right?
Mm-hmm. Rouse.
They could have said, "No, get out there, buddy, sink or swim." But no, they said, "Okay, we're going to find something," and they did. So I'm waiting for what's next.
Let's go.
With this team, there is always something next. Whenever we trade for a player, the first thing that I do is I go look and see what the fan base of that former team is saying. You know what? I've seen actually a lot of good things coming out. Like they liked him. They say he's got a lot of energy. He's a high motor guy. The Vikings are going to be happy with him. There's a couple of people who talked a little smack, but then you would have other Jaguar fans coming in and like talking crap back to them about it. So it seemed like he was a well-liked guy by the fans. So as long as we're not expecting him to beat Christian Darrisaw, I think we should be okay.
Agreed.
Can we expect Phil Lodeholt?
No, I don't think we can expect that either. What's Phil Lodeholt up to?
Probably about 350.
Yeah, at least. More like 400.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's only 32 to start, so we got us a starter in the middle of the season. I think that's a pretty good thing. He's more of a. Oh yeah, there it is, 64. You're right. There's one on each side.
Hey Robbie, he's playing in the Jaguars. You're talking about this year. Look at the last 3 years and be a pro about looking at data. He's not ranked 32 in the last 3 years.
He's actually ranked the Jaguars' best offensive lineman, so they're definitely packing it up.
Yeah.
So that was good for us. Let's get into this Rams recap. This one was tough. Because I was there, and man, it was a tough game to watch. It started off beautifully. Those first 2 drives, even though they were coming back and scoring against us, like, all right, we're scoring. We can score 2. No, that ended real quick. So that was a bummer. We took the loss 30-20 to put us to 5-2 on the season. Once again, we would score early. We had opportunity to score more, but we couldn't do it. We were shooting ourselves in the foot. We were only able to get field goals, penalties, keeping them on the field when we should have been off the field. This is the first time that we won a turnover battle and KOC lost a game in the KOC era. We like to bring that one up, and now we can't say it anymore. That's over. Against the Lions, we tied the turnovers and lost. That's the first time that happened. And now against the Rams, we won the turnover battle and we lost. So that's over. Cody, give me some takeaways from this game.
Takeaways from this game? At the end of the day, I didn't like the amount of penalties we had. I thought we looked like an undisciplined team. But also on the flip side, I didn't like the officiating in the game. I mean, people complain about officiating all the time, but one of the biggest plays on the game was the holding call on Byron Murphy that gave him that 2-score advantage, right? And that was a huge play on 3rd and long, and they grabbed it like that, and they called holding, and you barely saw his hand on his hip. I did not like that. There's a deep ball that went to the end zone. I didn't really like when I first saw it. I didn't like the holding play on Jefferson, even though he did catch it, which I don't know if he did or not. And the face mask play in the game. I know the face mask play wouldn't have mattered probably to anything, but you still got to give the team the chance. You still got to call it and protect the quarterback, right? Other than that, I just think we're just undisciplined. And Sam Darnold at quarterback, even though he is proficient, he just wasn't that quarterback that we're going to need to make it to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree with a couple of things you said there, especially the penalties. We gave up 5 penalties where we gave them a new set of downs. 3 of them were on 3rd down where we made the stop and we were getting the defense off the field. But, oh, no, there's that piece of laundry, and now they're getting a new set of downs. And then what you said about Sam Darnold, he definitely didn't pass the eye test. Like, those first 2 drives, yes, looked nice, but the rest of the game after that, it's like, what are you doing, man? Get rid of the ball. And you're seeing wide receivers open, and he's just not making the reads, I guess, stuck on that one read. Like, we do want him to feed Jefferson, but there are other guys that are capable on this team. So, yeah, if you just look at the stats, you say, oh, Sam Darnold played great. Debatable. What about you, Fish? What do you got from this game?
Discipline. I actually think that they didn't throw the flag on that face mask because they ran out of flags. They threw so many during the game. They were just like, damn, my arm, my rotator cuff. 3rd down penalty. We should have never been in that situation. There's, of course, one particular play we're going to go over, which I think was really a huge linchpin in this game. And our defense looked a little prone. I think you're very much right. If we don't get there, we can't stop them. And granted, this is a team that got Puka and Kupp back. And so they're a whole different team than they have been for the last 5 weeks. But, I mean, we still had JJ and Addy, and you got to think, what? I mean, why can't we have our guys open like that? Why can't we be throwing the ball all over the field, But it goes right back to the flags.
Yeah.
I don't know what KOC is going to have to do. He's probably going to have to – I don't know. He's probably going to have to take his player of the month calendar down and stop giving out gold stars every day to the good boys on the team. And he's probably going to have to really start doing something to hold players accountable, to get them to stop making dumb mental errors.
Yeah, because, to my opinion, the defense didn't play bad at all. I mean, we had the chance to get the ball back 5 times, and that's 5 more times to score on the offense with third down penalties, right?
But who committed those penalties? The defense.
Yeah,
I
the
thought it
defense.
looked. I thought it looked a lot like Donatello in that game.
I heard somebody call it the floor show.
Yeah, it
mean,
was.
We got 2
They
pressures
were
the
just
whole
moving
game.
up and down us.
There's the problem. The defense, it's hard to say the defense didn't play that bad, Cody. I'm not trying to start a debate with you, much to Robbie's chagrin. But at the end of the day, look there was two pressures the whole game against an offensive line that got freaking stabbed to death week after week after week. I mean, we did not get any pressure happening. But more importantly than that, what I think everybody keeps saying, oh, maybe we got exposed in the dagger play, and all that is true. But not everybody can execute the dagger play like a Matthew Stafford or, sorry to say, a Sam Goff, right? These guys that get the ball out quick and are good against blitzes are going to beat us more often than we'd like. And our offense wasn't able to handle keeping up with that pace for whatever reason. Darrisaw out. Darnold holds the ball too long. He's patting the ball too long. We didn't get our running game going as good as we wanted to. There's a whole lot of things that work on both sides of the ball. But at the end of the day, guess what happened, guys? We got beat on a 4-day rest after being in London, after a bye, after a tough loss, and a 4-day rest. We got stuff to look forward to. I'm not pressing the panic button yet. We're either going to be a whole lot better in the next 3 or 4 games, get healthy, get smart, get confidence back, and get rolling, or we're not.
She said a good thing. They're not the same team that they were the last 5 weeks. They have been kind of injury riddled, and they did get 2 of the best wide receivers in the league back. Going into the season, the Rams were considered a contender, like to compete for the Super Bowl. And I think we kind of forgot that because they have looked so bad with their injured players. But when we picked the schedule the last time before the season started, it was like 6-5, and we barely had us winning. I think most people on this panel had us losing, but with the audience and everything, we barely had that as a win. And we also had the Vikings only at 3-3 after this game. So we're sitting at 5-2. So we're still sitting better than we thought we were. And talking about short rest, McVay's one of the best coaches with short rest. I think I saw he was 10-1 against the spread on 4-day rest. So he gets his team ready for that. I don't take the excuse because they had to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. And you can't take the rest of the season as a coast mode just because you're playing inferior opponents the rest of the way, right? Like,
I will say one more thing about it, and I've kind of made the joke about it with the meme and all that, but legitimately, if there's one thing I'm upset about, Hawk should have played.
100%.
I agree with that. There's
an absolute difference in the sense of urgency between the two teams when you see that Hawk was activated like 2 weeks ago. And we really thought he was going to play. When he didn't play against Detroit, we thought for sure, yeah, he's coming on Thursday. He's going to play on Thursday. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but he's going to do it. Nope. Meanwhile, McVay's like, Puka, can you try it? Yep, you're out there, buddy. Puka's like, hell yeah, we got to win. And they did. And I just really think that a conference loss with as tight as our division is going to be, you're going to be looking at tiebreakers maybe. We should have had a higher sense of urgency. We heard about how Hawk was running faster than he's ever ran before. He looked great. All that bullshit. He didn't play. We lost.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Fish. And you know what bothers me the most about it? And I know this is like a fan thing, not a team thing, but I would have liked to seen our whole offense whole just for one game. And that would have been the one game they would have been whole, right? We would have had Darrisaw, we would have had Hawk, we would have had everybody in that game. We're not going to get to fucking see that this year. And that's what bothers me the most about that.
Well, that's true. That's a good point. I didn't even think about it that way. Do you think that Hawkinson would have made a difference in this game, Cody? I know you've been big on him coming back.
Yeah, 100%.
Like with Hawkinson here, we win.
100%. I think if we have Hawkinson, it gives Sam Darnold that outlet that he's been looking for. Like, we're starting to see Sam Darnold throw the ball in the middle of the field, intermediate routes now. So that's kind of like a plus, right? He hasn't been doing that, or we said he wasn't good at it. He looked really good at it during the game we against the Rams. I've been saying it, and I'll still say it. TJ Hawkinson is that piece that we're going to need on offense to get over that Lions hump. With Darrisaw out, now I'm like, God damn. And like, just like Rinaldi said, I wanted to see that offense because I think he was that last chess piece, that queen that you can just maneuver around the board. You can get Sam Darnold so he's not running outside the pocket or keeping the ball. He has internal time now. Okay, tight end dump. There, I give it to him. Because we see probably Aaron Jones get 2 catches, and that's his dump right now. And then you got Munt and Oliver getting their dump routes off. It's just one of those things. So you need that piece on the field. And if he comes back the same player, awesome. Could be maybe he doesn't come back the same player. It's a pretty significant injury, right? But
don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
I still want to see T. Hawks on. He is that chest.
Rinaldi, like if the flag had been thrown in that face mask, what was your confidence level that we would have been able to go down the field, score the touchdown, and get that 2-point conversion?
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that. I had very little confidence that we'd be able to do much with that minute 50 or whatever it was at the end of that game anyway. But man, I sure would have liked to have seen it. Mm-hmm. I would have liked, I would have liked to have seen it. That was a first down. They'd have the ball in the 20, something like that, with 1:30 left, no timeouts. I want to see us in that situation with a chance to win the game. Yeah. And I doubt we would have, but I would like to have seen it. So
I'm gonna disagree with you guys.
I'd like to be surprised.
Yeah.
All right. Rewatching the game, 2 drives before that, we drove right down the field and kicked a field goal. The drive before that, we drove down the field and then we couldn't convert to points. We were starting to drive on their defense again. 1 minute and 50 seconds. I'm not saying we could have got the 2-point conversion.
Yeah. That would have been the hard part, right?
I'm just saying we were starting to drive on that team again at the end of that game. So, yeah, I would have liked to see the opportunity. It could have got real exciting where we got into their side of the field and made somebody get a couple of more gray hairs like me. But, yeah.
And what really pisses me off is the ref on the post statement. Like, you blatantly lie to everybody in the world.
I couldn't see it.
Yeah, you blatantly lie. Like, you should own up to your wrongdoings. Like, you got to protect the quarterback. If that's Patrick Mahomes back there, and they seen that head cock, it's a flag. You know it, 100%.
Okay. I want you guys' honest opinion on this. Do you think it has anything to do with Vegas and money?
No. I don't want to believe it, so I'm going to say no.
I don't want to believe it either, so I'm still saying no. But every week there's just something that happens where it's like maybe.
Let me ask you a question, though. I mean, on top of that one, isn't every scoring play reviewed, or you can't review that call?
You can't review a face mask. Like you can't review a penalty. And I heard somewhere that a safety is not considered a scoring play. Which the NFL has all these weird rules to where they can manipulate it into their favor because there's so many things that they can change, and there's things that they can't. And they do have like the eye in the sky that when a flag is thrown, they can communicate to the ref, hey, that really didn't happen. Go ahead and pick it up. And they pick it up, but they can't retroactively throw a flag.
Right.
That's kind of weird to me. And this is going to be one of those plays, in my opinion, that ends up making a rule change. Like it always happens with us. Like with the McCown, the throw, he pushed him out. He would have landed in bounds. They got rid of that rule after that. The kick, the field goal wins the game in overtime against the Vikings or the Saints. They got rid of it the next year. Like it takes something bad to happen to the Vikings for them to change the rule. And I guarantee you there's going to be some kind of change to this rule next year.
Charlie,
we're the NFL's lab rats for rules.
That's a good way to put it. So aside from that, Fish, what was your catch in this one?
All right, guys. For those of you who don't know, and I hope you all do, every week during the regular season, we do a segment called Fish's Catch, where I review the game, I watch it, and I look for that one landmark play that decided the game. This was it. This was where the fate of the game turned. And there was a few plays that were absolutely pivotal. Darrisaw getting injured. Holy crap. How stupid was that? And let's talk about the actual catch. JJ catching that ball on his shoulder while getting pass interfered upon. No flag thrown. Umpire official looking right at it. He still caught that ball, maybe, right, Cody?
Mm-hmm.
And
he got it.
But the actual Fish's catch, the one that turned the game, was the third down drop pass by Naylor in the red zone. Sam Bradford scrambles, buys some time. There's Naylor flashing right across the middle of the zone, finds that empty spot. Sam fires it at him, and what does he do? He tries to cradle it above the waist. Boink!
Addison was wide open too. Just saying.
Addison was wide open too. What's the rule? Above the waist, thumbs in. He tried to do like this. It's just like that Hawk one a couple of years ago against the Chargers on the goal line. He tried to cradle it above the waist. Out it came. And as a result of this, and as you'll notice, his momentum was carrying him to the left. He probably would have scored. That would have been 7 points instead of 3. And the way this game ended, that would have been hugely different because we'd have been driving for a field goal instead of thinking about a touchdown.
Addison. Yep. I'm not trying to blame Sam. It's just there's been also a lot of talk about Sam. Addison can't get open. He can't get separation. So this isn't. I'm not talking smack on Sam Darnold right here because Naylor catches that. That's a touchdown as well. And Sam kept the play alive. But just watch over the middle of the field. I think Addison scores on this one too.
Watch the back of the end zone.
Boom.
Look at the back of the end zone.
I mean, either Aaron Jones as well.
You know, I would agree with that. He was open, but the passing lane wasn't. I see why Sam. Yeah, I see why Sam threw it to Naylor.
Well, it was an easier pass after he started running.
Yeah,
I'm going to say this: it's all on Naylor.
Oh yeah, 100%.
100%. How about the star of the game on that play? Ed Ingram not running into Sam Darnold. Look how he just stops. Like, hey, we watched that replay and just watch Ingram stop. Good job. You didn't run into your quarterback this time.
This one?
Yeah. It's the one, the front view. You can actually see him on the field from behind. Yeah, right here. Watch 67. Stop. Yeah. This is. I was thinking for sure. Yep.
But look how close that was to a pick, too, because right out of his hands, and that was
yeah, both arms, both
watching
hands.
That live, I got mad that Sam didn't run with it because I thought, man, you had a first down, but Fishy pointed out there was a linebacker there who may have made a stop. I still think Sam Darnold gets the first down. So I was there at the game and I was watching it live, and I was like, I can't believe he did that. And I try to give Naylor the benefit of the doubt. I was like, I think Naylor was turning into a blocker and wasn't expecting the ball. But then I came back and watched. I was like, oh, man, you just straight up dropped that ball. And it was right on the money. Like, there was no excuse for that.
I'd like to quickly answer E's message. Hey, E, Aaron Jones off to the right as an outlet pass was wide open, would have got a first down.
Sorry, E, I didn't have as much prep time as normal, so I don't have any other videos queued up. But Fish watched them all, and as he tells you, as it seems like on a lot of plays, Aaron Jones was open out there on the flat. I don't know what it is, and people like to blame our offensive line, but like I said, he has the most time out of any quarterback to pass the ball, and I'm not dumping on Sam Darnold. I'm critiquing a little bit. But I don't expect Sam Darnold to win games for us. I expect him to do what he's been doing. Like, that's if we're going to win, he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. And it's the rest of the people that got to step up, especially the defense. You're not going to win getting 2-3 pressures when you've been dominating by getting sacks and forcing turnovers. Like, that's been our identity, and that's what it has to be. We cannot expect Sam Darnold to win it for us. We got to hope he doesn't lose it for us. And to this point, I don't think he has.
Oh, and McVay played an outstanding scheme against our defense. Quick. We didn't have no pressures because the ball was coming out in 1.2 seconds.
Exactly. But not every quarterback can do that. We're going to be able to put our defense back into play, and we're going to look good for a couple of weeks until we hit another quarterback that throws against the blitz the right way.
And you give a 225, 230-pound, 6'4" wide receiver the ball, and he's got some motion going forward. It's hard to tackle that boy.
Mm-hmm.
Let us not forget the Rams team as we saw them Thursday night was the same Ram team at the beginning of the season that took the Detroit Lions to overtime.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Fact. Better matchup.
We're the same team that took the damn Lions to 15 seconds or whatever.
We're all right, guys. We're okay.
We'll be okay.
We gave them 26 first downs. We only had 17, and 8 of those 17 were on the first 2 drives of the game where we scored touchdowns. That's something that really stuck out to me. We scored 14 points on the first 2 drives. We scored 6 points the rest of the game. Like the fans were into it. Like SoFi was purple. We were doing skull chants in the first quarter, man. Normally, I do see that in road games, but you don't see that till like the fourth quarter when the game's kind of getting out of hand. It was going on in the first quarter, and it just went downhill after those first 2 drives. And I think the big thing was they were sustaining drives. We only had 7 full drives that whole game, and we scored on 4 of them. Normally, that's good, but 2 of them were field goals.
I can tell you right now what lulled this fucking offense to sleep was the lack of their run game.
Yeah,
the
100%.
run game did not complement the pass game at all today out of that game.
Which says a little something about Sam. I mean, we're doing our best not to shit on Sam right now, but I don't think you can put the whole load on him. I just don't think he can do it, and that's a bad expectation.
Hey, you know, another thing that pissed me off about this game, about them not throwing the flag on that face mask, was it allowed them asinine Rams fans and Rams players to mock the SKOL chant with the safety.
Were they doing it, Keith? How bad was it?
Oh, it was pretty bad. And, walking out there, they're all, SKOL. I had people that I know that are Rams fans. They didn't say shit all week. They didn't text me nothing all week. Like, I tried to meet up with them at the tailgate. They weren't answering me back. But then after the game, I'm getting videos of them doing SKOL chants to me. That's some bitch shit.
Imagine if Justin Jefferson doesn't catch that football and no flag was thrown. I mean, you gotta look at it that way too. Like,
the thing I'm mad about that is he makes that great play and we get 3 points out of it.
Yeah,
like to me that if I was Michael Fish, that was my catch because it was a great play, a great catch, and you got the momentum with that. The Viking fans are getting loud, and you don't even gain another yard and you kick a field goal.
One of the reasons we didn't is because we rushed up to the line of scrimmage.
And I get that.
Rushed the play, didn't put a good play into place for that first down, got behind the sticks in the red zone and couldn't get a first down or a touchdown again.
I hated that.
There's a couple times which, it's hindsight where I wanted to go for it on 4th down. I didn't want to kick a field goal. I didn't want to punt. Like we're not going to get the ball back that often. And every time they get the ball, they're extending drives and winding down the clock. It's like, we need to keep the ball and we need touchdowns.
How long are our offensive drives?
Ours weren't long at all. We had, I think, 2 3-and-outs and 1 4-and-out. And then we had the 4 scoring drives and they were all quick except 1 scoring drive was 8 minutes.
Okay. I mean, that's a lot. Even if you score fat, you're putting that defense back out there. Like, hey, go do it over and over again. It's got to be gas, especially for the aging cornerbacks we have. I mean, that's got to be gassing.
I mean, you got to get first downs. Even if you're, like you said, even if you're not scoring, you got to stay on the field for a little while and let those guys get their rest, extend drives, and it's still a field position game.
Mm-hmm.
So we can stay here and keep being all negative. But I want you to stop hurting the Vikings' feelings and tell me one good thing that came from this game or that you noticed from this game, Cody.
Justin Jefferson. He is him, man. I looked at that. I didn't know if it was a catch or not a catch, and he was getting held on, and he just pulled it, get it through. Man, Justin Jefferson was just open every single play. It felt like in middle of the field. Man, he greatest wide receiver in Vikings history.
No, you can tell Cody's the youngest one in the room.
No, I just watched Randy Moss. He's good at the 9 route. That's cool. Emiliano,
I'm still listening to offers because I've never denied that he's the best receiver in the league. I just don't know how far that gets you.
Well, without him this year, are we 5-2?
Probably because it's been our defense. maybe 4-3.
I can't believe Mike Reed showed his face. That's my coworker, fellas. Ain't you supposed to be in bed by now? Don't you have to go to work in the morning, dude? Come on, man.
I say the same thing about you.
Well, there ain't no lie to that.
Well, we got another 3 hours. So, Fish, Give me a positive takeaway from this game.
We didn't get blown out. Played another good team. Played them hard. Kept it down. Had a few things work against us, and it was a tight game. And you can look at them as built as a possible playoff team. And if we're going to be playing playoff teams and we're going to be playing them tight, that still gives me hope.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad about a 2-point loss to the Lions, and I'm not mad about a loss like that to the Rams. I mean, I'm not happy, but yeah, we got a kicker.
You just beat me to the punch because that's where I was going. You were reading my mind. I was like, yeah, calling me next. We got a kicker. Sorry.
When we start playing some of those lower tier teams again, like the Bears, we're gonna feast on them.
I sure hope so. The divisional games are always tough, though. I know you're trying to throw a shot at the coworker, but the defense is pretty good, and if we can't score points, mine was, like I said earlier, that we did score 4 of the 7 times that we had a drive. So, that's good. So, 50% of the time we had the ball, we scored. We just should have had the ball more often if we could have stopped their offense from having long sustained drives where they were scoring. And to Shaq's point that we did have no turnovers, that's another positive take out of there. And I said earlier, this was a team that was considered a contender for the Super Bowl before the season starts, and they're getting back to full strength. And we did hang in there with them. We didn't get blown out like you said, Fish. It was another tough game. We have a chance to bounce back. I am definitely not walking with the same swagger I was 3 weeks ago. It's almost been a month since we've seen a Vikings win. So things have changed a little bit. So as far as the panic meter goes, on a 1 to 10, where are you at, Cody?
I am at a 5, only because Darrisaw. I'm like at halfway, just because of the Darrisaw thing. I mean, if I'm a team, I'm going to send my best pass rusher, Josh Sweat, straight at Cam Robinson, and then I'm going to send 1 or 2 more on that side, and I'm going to see if the tight ends can pick them up or not. But I'm going to be blitzing that side heavily, and I hope O'Connell schemes away from that side. So.
Oh, that's pretty tempered. I thought you were going to come a little higher than that. So I'm glad to see that you haven't jumped off the shift yet. What about you, Fish? Where's your panic meter at?
My panic meter is pretty low. I'm like at a 3. But I can tell you, we lose this game this weekend, and it's inverting. We're gonna be in trouble.
Naughty panic meter.
I'm at a 3 as well, but it's like there's this underswell. Like you got that feeling. Like I wasn't panicking at all. I was at a 0 or a 1 before. So a 3 is a significant jump, and I get like that feel like we gotta get it going. To Fish's point, if we continue to look like we did in the second half of the Green Bay game, in the end of the Jets game, and for a lot of the Rams game, it's gonna start taking off. But I mean, we have 3 opportunities in a row where we should be favored going in, and we should at least find ways to win the games. I don't care if they're tight. That whole thing about, hey, we got to win by 30 points against bad teams. I just want to win. I want to win the next 3. I want to win the next 4 out of 5. That's what I want to see us do. I think we'd be in really good shape at 3 out of 4. So it would be 8 and 3. And I'll live with that. I don't care how we get there. And I don't care how much we win by.
There's that 3 Musketeers candy bar where you bite it once and you're like, and now you got to finish it and pretend to I want to win by 14 to 10 points a game. Yeah, I don't want to be winning by 1-score games against these guys.
I don't want to, but I don't want to, but it's okay.
So I'm probably the highest. I think mine's at a 6, and that's only because I guess the expectations that I got from going 5-0. I was getting ready. I thought okay, this might actually be a Super Bowl run. And now my expectations as far as that have been tempered way down. I still think we're a playoff team. So if that's the expectation, then I'm with you guys at around a 3. But I started having real thoughts man, this NFC is not that strong. We're playing really good ball. This defense looks dominant. And now I'm it's not kind of looking like that anymore. And I know we've played good teams, but if we want to get to something like the Super Bowl, we have to beat good teams, not just play close games with them. And so I don't know. I know our softer part of the schedule is coming up, and that might inflate our record a little bit. That's not going to do nothing for my confidence as far as us being able to run with the big dogs. I wanted to see us run with the big dogs because even the teams that we beat, yeah, that was supposed to be our gauntlet, and they're supposed to be the big dogs. They haven't been that this season. Like the teams that we beat have a combined 20-20 record. So they're big names, but there's a caveat to almost all those wins. I don't know.
Bro, we are a big dog. We're 5-2. Who are you afraid of in the NFC? I mean, other than the Lions, who I know you're not afraid of, who are you afraid of? Philly? Atlanta?
Yeah. Any team that matches up just like the
afraid of them? You're afraid of them? I'll take them on. Let's go. And look, I get that you want to be the number 1 seed and you get a bye and blah, 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 blah.
It matters.
At the end of the day, you don't know that whoever goes up and plays Detroit is going to win or lose. You don't know. And if we don't play them in the first round, you don't know. And I ain't afraid of playing them in Detroit anyway.
In the NFC, if we get to the playoffs, the only 2 teams I'd be concerned about would be Atlanta and the Lions.
And
because
Philly.
they have experienced quarterback. No, not worried about Philly. Not even a little bit.
Would you put him in the same tier as the Rams?
See, here's the reason I'm saying.
Worried about the Rams in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. I get ice, yes, and because of this reason, experienced quarterbacks, B-Flow can't confuse them. They can get the ball out quickly. So those are the teams I'd be worried about. Hopefully they'll cannibalize each other. But as for the young QBs, like, Jaden Daniels has looked spectacular. What's happening with Washington is a wonderful story if you care about that team, which we don't. But these young quarterbacks are the ones that B-Flow can just destroy. He can fool them. He can trick them. He can fluster them. I'm worried about the experienced ones, the ones that have seen it all, done it all.
That's true. That's true, Tommy. Philly and Washington are getting better every week. I have a little bit of fear of Washington. I know that Jay Daniels is a rookie quarterback, but he looks very good, and he's very athletic. He can scramble. He can get out of the pocket. He can run away from our defense. I don't know. You can throw Hail Marys.
You got to think Lions, Rams, Eagles, Washington, and then us. That's 5 of the 7 teams. We're playing one of them. You know what I'm saying? In the playoffs.
If playoffs started today, we'd be playing the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, Atlanta would be a scary team, right?
With no defense.
That's 6 out of 7 teams in the playoffs. Then you got the lonely.
Hot take. It's going to be a 1-score game. Just saying.
It's not that hot. So nobody's getting 2016 vibes yet.
No.
Nah.
No, I mean Sam Bradford had an completion percentage in 2006. I think he broke the NFL record, right, for completion percentage that year, even though we melted. So yeah, I mean,
and it all started with injuries to the offensive line.
Yeah.
I still remember like it was yesterday that game against the Eagles coming off the bye. That was not football. That was a horrible brand of football. They showed themselves. What up? What up, E?
What's up, my family? How y'all doing?
How you doing, kid?
We're doing all right. Coping a little bit.
Yeah, I've been coping all week, man. I feel it.
So where are you at on the panic meter of 1 to 10?
I'm kind of in the same boat as Rinaldi, man. Like, still low. You know, I think it's very tamed. Solid 3, maybe 4, but it's all contingent on how we play on Sunday, man. And if we lose this game, then my panic meter swings all the way to the to the 8, 9s. But if we win this game and we win it convincingly, I think it could be the start of a really good run for us. So
the check engine light comes on if we lose this game.
Exactly. Big time.
Well, this team has gone through a lot of things this season. You know, they had the Kyrie death, Mekhi Blackman's knee, JJ McCarthy's knee. We didn't have Hawkins for 7 games. Now Christian Darrisaw. We've had a lot of things go wrong, like since the offseason. And while we were winning, we asked, like, we want to see this team go through some adversity. But this team's been going through adversity since the damn offseason. You think maybe it's us fans that need to learn how to go through some adversity?
That's all we know is adversity, man.
Yeah.
Right, but have we learned how to deal with it yet?
No.
Yeah, we're pretty calm right now.
We are. I don't think the fan base is.
As a whole, I don't. It's definitely not. It's blown up. It's gone back to what it's been.
We're not dealing with trauma. As if after a certain age, as a Vikings fan, you're not now dealing with trauma. You're coping with PTSD. I've seen this before. Oh my God, where's my service dog standing behind me? Oh my God, I mean, that we lose 2 games off the bye. We're talking about 2016. Is it 2016 again? Oh my God, I thought I heard a gunshot. Oh my God, I mean.
Well, to be fair, I thought about 2016 before we even lost the game. As soon as we went 5-0, I was like, oh my gosh, 2016.
Right.
I got it from winning.
Right.
Hey, look, you know how I was talking about the offseason where I was like, I've seen this movie before, and I ain't going to bring up the actual subject, so I can appreciate you saying that, Keith. You've seen this movie before.
I know it'll get better just because of one man coming back on the field. I've been harping it since 4 weeks ago. TJ Hawkinson, I'm telling you, if you have him on fantasy football, he's on your roster, start him up. They're going to feed him often.
Do we win if Hawk played Thursday night?
Do we what?
Do we win if Hawkinson played Thursday night?
I want to say yes, but I don't know, man. I don't think that we played kind of sloppy that game, man, on Thursday. And like I said, I put it in the chat. I think we were underprepared for Cup and Puka, man. I feel like we went into that week scheming as if they weren't going to play. And then when they announced that they both were playing, it took all of our defensive starters and Brian Flores by surprise. And we just couldn't adapt in the game. But I think even with Hawk, it would have been a close game, but I don't feel like we played a complete game on all sides of the ball, man. So I can't say that one person would have changed that for this game specifically. The Detroit game, I absolutely think we win that game if Hawkinson was on the field.
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
And as for your point about Cup they were just put back on the active roster. And, teams that want to have an abundance of caution are going to hold him out for another week or two to make absolutely sure.
Yeah.
And they were like, get your ass on the field. We need a dub. And
no, 100%. I feel like because we had, 10 days off or whatnot coming off of the bye. And then obviously we didn't play that. How many days off? Because we had a bye week, right?
Yeah.
So I just feel like we looked at the Rams and we schemed for a Rams team that didn't have those 2 players on the field 100%. And that's a shame on the coaches. I don't think one person would have changed the outcome of that game, given how underprepared we were.
Unless you could put some pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, unless you could
It's hard to put pressure on the quarterback when that ball comes out in a second.
So I brought up that we scored the 14 points in the first quarter, then only scored 6 points in the second half, and that's kind of been a theme with this team, is getting the hot starts, then stalling out later. I'm going to try to put the stat on here the best I can. The StreamYard allows me. I didn't have time to do a PowerPoint, but I found this stat on Twitter, and I just found it freaking very interesting about where we rank on our first 15 plays versus where we rank the rest of the plays after that. So yards per play, for the first 15 plays, we rank first in the NFL. After those 15, we're 23rd in the NFL. Points scored in the first 15 plays, we're first. After that, we're 21st in scoring. Passing yards, we're first in those 15 plays. After that, 26th. Rush yards, we go from 8th to 27th. And first downs, we go from 2nd to 29th, and we saw it in the Rams game where we got 8 of our 17 first downs in those first 2 drives. What's up with this team? Why can't we get past those 15 plays? What do you think, E?
I think it's coaching. And the only reason why I say that is because we almost had the identical stats last year with Kirk Cousins. We were one of the best teams in the league to score on the first couple possessions of the game. Something after halftime, I don't know. I have no idea what happens, but this is 2 different quarterbacks with the same results under the same still coaching staff. I think that we have to KLC has to reevaluate how he calls the game.
Completely agree with that take. That's exactly what I was going to say had I gone first on that one. and it's nothing new, man. That is not new news, and it does say a lot to the scheming of we take it to them and then we stop taking it to them, especially when we get a lead. Guys, we're terrible with a lead. This is a terrible football team with a freaking lead. I almost want the other team to score first so we can see what it looks like. I mean, we don't do well with a lead, man. There's Shaq.
What up, Shaq?
What's up, Shaq?
I blame Wes Phillips.
Who is Wes Phillips?
He's a guy who got a DUI. Talk about adversity in the offseason. I blame our offensive coordinator.
I didn't know he had one.
This speaks directly to game plan.
So, but the game plan is good for the first 15 plays, but then after that, they're like, oh, well, I'm all out of ideas.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's the OC. I get it that KOC calls the plays, but this is the guy that should be putting the game plan together. He is our offensive coordinator. He is a pretty powerful person on this team, or should be. And if he's not asserting himself to say, yo, Kev, that's not going to work, then he shouldn't have the position even if he's not calling the plays.
So you're saying that he needs to script the first 30.
I think
Script the first 60. I don't care.
I like the commentator said Thursday night about there's a Justin Jefferson, right? Justin Jefferson came up to KOC and asked him how did Cooper Kupp get all those yards, become a triple crown? Like I remember the commentator stating that, and I think KOC is like he's stuck on that ways of that Cooper Kupp way. Like, okay, how am I going to scheme this guy to get open? Instead of scheming JJ to get open all the time, can we scheme Jordan Addison or tell him, hey, Jordan Addison's your first look? How many targets do he have? How many targets per game does Jordan Addison have?
2 to 3,
not
probably.
a lot. Yeah, like you have multiple weapons on this team at your disposal. Utilize every one of them.
Well, to your point on that, when KOC and Justin Jefferson first talked, Justin Jefferson asked him, how does Kupp get so open? How do you do the things you do with them? I mean, he told him, hey, that's what we're going to do with you. I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen him use him like Cooper Kupp.
How'd you not see him use it like Cooper Kupp? He won offensive player of the year going off for 1,800 yards. Like he still commands the ball every time he's out there, right?
He ain't doing the things like the Cooper Kupp does. Like he's getting a lot of deep passes and stuff like that, but he's not. Cooper Kupp was having like 15, 20 catch games. Just Jefferson ain't doing that. Cooper Kupp was coming out of the backfield doing stuff. Just Jefferson might do that once a game, but the ball's never going to him. It's used as a decoy. Shaq, why do you think that we're having these hot starts, but then we're just stalling out?
Because we suck at counterpunching. It's like I feel like the time it takes our offense, we start off hot, and then our defense, well, not our defense, but the opponent's defense, they start to catch on, and then KOC or counter. So it's kind of hard to, we get off to that fast start and we keep trying to do the same thing we did the first 15 plays, and it's like, you telling me now it's not working? It worked the first 15. Why is it not working now? We don't adjust.
Yeah, that's fair. The counter, like as long as we're like in the lead, everything's all good. But when the other team starts biting back, like, ew, that hurts.
Maybe what we should do, it's kind of a joke the way you said it, but is there anything that says we can't script the first 15 plays going into the second half? Coming out of halftime?
I think they do, because if you look at our scoring in the first and third quarters when we score the most points, second and fourth quarters where we fall off. So I mean, I don't think that they don't do that. I think it just maybe matters. Okay, what's the score of the game at halftime? Okay, let's run with the script. And if we have to adjust, then we probably don't do well in the third quarter. I think that's been one of KLC's biggest knocks, is making adjustments. And I think we could even put a little bit on Flores too. I haven't seen him doing much adjustments with the defense, just hoping the same thing is going to eventually pop off and work. Have any of you gone down on Flores at all over these last couple of games, or are you still riding high with him?
Still riding high with him.
Yeah, I'm still riding high with him. I had said it a couple of weeks ago, but this defense, they remind me a lot of that Saints defense when they won the Super Bowl. Like other teams scored on them, other teams used to put up points or yards on them too, but they were exceptional at getting to the quarterback when they needed to and forcing turnovers. And that's really what we do. We give up yards, but we force turnovers, and that's kind of been our saving grace in a lot of these games.
That's fair. I think he deserves some smack, I guess, because when the defense was doing good, we gave all the credit to him. Like we weren't really talking too much about the players. We Van Ginkel with the pick six, this and that, but it was B-Flow's the greatest. And now that they're not doing good, we're talking about the players. So I think he does deserve a little bit of grief. And I don't know if they go like this another game or two where they're not getting the sacks and not putting the pressure on the quarterback. I don't think we have to worry about him getting the head coaching job, which, hey, maybe in the grand scheme, that's a good thing because this wasn't supposed to be our Super Bowl year anyways. So maybe we keep him during that when we have our real quarterback, JJ, there. And yes, Tommy, we are missing Cashman dearly. Mm-hmm. When Cashman was playing, we weren't having all these passes over the middle. He was making the cornerbacks look more credible. Teams only average around 67 yards rushing against us. The two teams without Cashman, they're averaging like 127 rushing. So I think Fish is seeing it.
Well, I also think in the beginning of the year, we were beating teams pretty well. We were the least penalized team in the NFL. The last two games, we were the penalized team. Like we are the most penalized team in the NFL now. Over the last two games, right? And you got to think about those 5 third down plays. Right, with those penalties, we get the ball back. It was 3rd and long. We get the ball back. That's 5 stops added on to the defense that the offense has a chance to score. So I'm still riding high with Brian Flores just because he needs to get that same team back to what it was during the beginning of the weeks, and it was the disciplined, non-penalized team. Going from the least penalized team to the most penalized team in 2 weeks, you got to fix the discipline up. Use some of your Patriot way. And just start.
But are you confident he can do that? Because if you remember last year, we were really high on him too. Then the last 5-6 weeks of the season, that defense went.
If he goes back to pre-Tua, I think I'd be pretty confident. The pre-Tua comment or whatever that's coming out, I don't know.
Yeah, last year we were crashing blitzes up the middle and they weren't getting home. I remember seeing Pace and whatever trying to crash up the middle and blitz, and we just got bottled up. He's got to find a more creative way to bring the blitz.
The ball was out fast. And then with Keith's point saying Cashman, that ball does not go in the middle field like as much as it did with Cashman on the field.
Yeah.
So I guess the adjustment is, hey, guys, the ball's coming out fast. Get your hands up.
Yeah. That's what they do tell the defensive line. But
I haven't seen your boy Phillips in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I saw him rolling around on his back like a turtle.
But also, if you guys notice, when Grenard and Van Ginkel is not getting the pressure like they was the first couple games, so who's getting our pressure for us?
Nobody.
Same thing with Pat Jones.
Speaking of disappearing man, Pat Jones.
We should have traded him, Shaq. Shaq wanted to keep Pat Jones, and we were all saying, "Hey, Patrick Jones' stock is never gonna be higher." And that might be a 4th round pick right now. Let's just get that 4th round pick. Shaq's like, nah, we got to keep him. We got to extend him.
I mean, that's 2 teams in a row that threw the ball fast out of the pocket. Quarterback got the ball really fast. That's 2 games in a row, resulted in 2 losses.
Imagine if our quarterback.
I wish we knew how to do quick.
Thank you, Keith. Say that again, Keith. Say it again.
I wish our quarterback could do that because we give him enough time to do it. Like 1, 2. I don't care. Run with the ball. Then after that, Aaron Jones is always open off to the side. Those 2 reads ain't there. Aaron Jones is.
I think, man, because Darnold has a trust issue, man. And I try not to use it against him. I have to remember that this is Darnold's probably the most meaningful games that he's played in his entire career, and the first time that he's been a starter in 2-3 years or something along those lines. So I expect those setbacks, but he has a ton of time to throw, and I feel like the only person he's comfortable throwing it to is Justin Jefferson or at times Adam Jones, right? Or Aaron Jones, sorry.
He's pretty comfortable throwing it to Munt.
Yeah, or month. I'm like, you gotta give Addison a chance. Like Addison proved last year when we didn't have JJ on the field that he can be that guy. Sam just needs to trust him, right? Because I think there's opportunities with him downfield, and rather than give Addison a chance, he'll revert to where's Justin Jefferson at and give it to Justin Jefferson or force it.
That's fair, but that is why Hawkinson coming back is gonna really help out because he's gonna be that safety blanket. Hawkinson ain't running any deep route.
Slant pass all season.
I believe we did. I was watching the Rams game. We did the first play. It was
the JJ. The JJ we did.
Jefferson.
And they're like, okay, that worked. Let's not do that again.
Nope.
It said that works. Don't do it again.
Yep.
We're gonna have to say that for the playoffs.
The out route too. We've seen a lot of the out routes. Those are quick passes, but we've seen JJ drop a couple of those out routes also.
Yeah, he has.
What up, Purple Scully? Hey, Shaq, for future hot takes for you, I will approve. I'll allow it if you decide to say, scoring on a trick play. If they score on a slant pass, I will call that a trick play. We don't do that shit.
Yeah, we did. You're right. We opened it up with that, and then just didn't go back to it. And that's what they were killing us on. The Rams were
killing us.
Yeah, like I'm like, how are they gaining like 6-7 yards on wide receiver screenplays? It was like, why can't we do that? They got a guard and tackle in front of Puka Nacua, and the only person to stop him was Gilmore. I'm like, wow.
What's that like, huh?
Not down a shell. You throw screens to beat the blitz, and that's what teams are doing. You throw screens, beat the blitz. You make him overcommit, and you throw.
Yep.
So here we are sitting at 5-2. We just made a trade for the offensive tackle Cam Robinson. We're about a week away from the trade deadline. Do you guys see this team making another trade?
Yes.
Shaq? Okay.
Yes.
What kind of trade? What kind of trade do you expect them to make?
It had to be on defense because, I'm pretty sure they're comfortable with how the offense is. They're gonna probably see how Hawk do, and the reason they traded for a tackle is because Darrisaw went down, and I'm pretty sure if Darrisaw never went down, I don't think we would have made a trade for an offense. I think more so they're concerned with the defense. It's like, yeah, the defense is like a little tier below being elite consistently. It's just we're missing something on the defense to take us to the next level, like the 2000 Ravens or the 2021 Buccaneers that beat the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Or even the 2017 Vikings, even though we didn't win it all, but those defenses was one of the best during the season. And we're on that cusp of being one of the best defenses in this season. It's just we can't fully capitalize. We're allowing too many yards. And I think we need to address the elephant in the room. We need a defensive tackle. We can't keep relying on Grenard and Van Ginkel and then Ivan Pace and Cashman and Smith to get pressure.
Are you still looking at trading our first round pick next year in order to do that?
Yes. Matter of fact, fuck it. Trade 2 first round picks at this point.
Okay, so that's where you're at. That's how I'm trying to gauge where everybody else with this. What about you, Cody? You think we're making another trade?
I would like for them to make another trade, but we're sitting at like $258,000 in cash. So a team would have to take on a significant portion of that 2024 cap hit. Like if you want Dexter Lawrence, you're looking at a $15 million cap hit for 2024 alone. So you'd have to have them. If you want to get Dexter Lawrence, it's going to take more than just that one first. You're probably going to have to give them another first. That way they can take on that cap hit for next year. So, I mean, $258,000 ain't much to work with because we had to sign a left tackle this year.
We're only paying him $2 million though.
You're not going to get a 1-year dude. Yeah, I know. That's what drained down. You're not going to get a 1-year dude in this trade. So you're trading for a 1-year dude and you're signing him for a long haul, or you're getting a guy that's already in the long haul, hoping that team takes over that cap hit for this year. So
a guy like Dexter Lawrence has a contract. We could do what we do best and kick that money down to future years.
Restructure. We became Dexter Lawrence at 2032.
And they always talk about doing it to Brian O'Neill. That's always on the table of extending him for another few years, Fish, right? And kicking that money down the line.
Can we trade him now?
Oh, we're talking about trades, Fish. Is it possible that we become sellers?
It's possible.
I don't think so.
I mean,
but I am going to tell you right now, I don't think we're trading. I don't think we're gonna have another significant trade before the trade deadline. I hate to say it. I think it would have happened already. I think that we just had a mini buy from the Thursday night game. It would only make sense to have brought a new teammate on last weekend to give them a whole week to work with the team, or at least the beginning of this week. We didn't do it. It wouldn't make any sense. As much as I want to give up our first round pick for 2025 to get a defensive tackle that can help move the needle, I now don't believe it's going to happen.
I agree with you because as good as this team is, and I do think we can win. Like, don't misconstrue what I'm saying to thinking like the season's over. I do think we can win. I think we can go to playoffs. I think we can win a playoff game, maybe even 2 playoff games. But I think we're more than one player away. So I don't see them going out and making a big splash. Like, if we make another trade, it's going to be another one like this, like where we're giving up a 6th rounder that might turn into a 5th if he plays a certain amount of downs. And that's, been Quasy's MO, is getting these guys that, haven't quite panned out. But, hey, with us, maybe he will. And to his credit, it's worked pretty good. But I don't see a big splash happening. What about you, E?
You got to also think Cam Robinson, he's in his last year of his deal. Darrisaw, does he come back at the beginning of the year next year?
No, that's why you signed
Probably
him.
not. So you probably got to re-sign him now, or you find a serviceable left tackle that's out there that's cheaper than when he's at that $2 million. Then you have to re-sign him for the $10 million or whatever he's going to be worth.
You might be able to come back.
I think
this happened early enough.
When did Hawk get hurt last year? What week was that?
Like
Week
16
10?
or 17?
Oh, it was that late?
Yeah,
it was in December.
Oh shit!
It was the second time we played the Lions. Yeah.
That was the end of the season.
So I think he could be ready. I mean, or it's a place where you got to play routes for a game or something like that. But I don't see him missing significant time next season to where they got to panic and go sign this guy for $10-15 million. What about you, E? Do you see us making a splash trade before this thing is all said and done this next week?
I'm not even gonna lie. I really want us to. I do. Like, the fandom in me wants us to. I'm with Shaq. I'll give 2 first for a Dexter Lawrence, right? I mean, at worst, you're getting, first of all, at best, you're getting one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL, right? You don't know how those first round picks are going to pan out. Dexter Lawrence is 26 years old, right? For 2 firsts, you're getting someone who is probably going to be better than anybody that you were going to pick in the first round anyway. So I would love us to, but then listening to Fish, I don't know if it makes sense now. But if we don't do it now, I can see us doing a big trade in the offseason.
See, I keep going out, but then you bring me back in with the Dexter Lawrence talk because you're right. He is only 26.
Mm-hmm.
So can we get back like a 3rd rounder in that when we give away 2 first rounders? Can we get like a 3rd back this year? So
I would accept that any day of the week. You're talking about the best defensive tackle at 26 years old for 2 firsts. That's high risk, high reward, man.
Give me a 3rd back so we can draft, one of the best running backs this year.
And I don't think the Giants are getting rid of Dexter Lawrence. He just signed last year. Like,
yeah, why does his name keep coming up? Like,
it's
that is interesting to me.
Because we want him.
It's not just us. It's not just us.
Yeah,
it's because the Giants
they're gonna have a rookie quarterback on a rookie contract next year. No more Daniel Jones. They don't have to pay for him anymore, so they can afford Dexter Lawrence and build around him. Right? They can go straight defense.
There's a lot of defensive tackles. You got Jeffrey Simmons,
but what you giving up to get a Jeffrey Simmons, Shaq?
A first,
just 1 first.
What the Titans need? They can have a 3rd.
We don't have one.
We have one next year. We don't have one next year.
Shaq doesn't want to draft for the next 2 years.
I mean, if we win the Super Bowls, I don't care about the draft.
I just don't feel like we're a Jeffrey Simmons away from winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Jeffrey Simmons is significantly more expensive than Dexter Lawrence.
Is he? How much is he asking, or how much is he on?
So he signed a 4-year, $94 million. Dexter signed a 4-year, $87. You're looking at this year's cap hit. It would be $17 million against the cap.
I think the Giants would trade him for 2 firsts. I think the Giants would trade him, even if they just gave him that money. The Giants are going nowhere 3-4 years from now. Like they're a ways out for being a competitive team unless they kill it in free agency. Send Lawrence over here. We'll take him. Take the 2 firsts.
They grab that quarter. I mean, second-year quarterbacks. All of a sudden, we always remember quarterbacks having that sophomore slump, right? But there's no more sophomore slump with these rookie quarterbacks. They're coming out ready to go.
Cody, Joe Flacco elite?
They getting benched out here.
Is Joe Flacco elite, Cody?
Joe Flacco elite? No. I think Joe Flacco, he knows what offense and how it should be ran down the field. I think when he was in his younger days, he did take the team to the Super Bowl, but it was the defense that did it for them, for the Ravens, right? Then he got that big contract to win the Super Bowl, and it was just downhill from that. He's still young, but I think he's his mental game, he's matured beyond, and he's old, he's savvy, he's a veteran. He knows how to make an offense go down the field. And like our quarterback, still young, he doesn't know how to keep sustaining that offense to go down the field. And I think you're going to see a lot of Joe Flacco to Josh Downs on fucking those little, just like we saw when we played against Puka and Amon-Ra St. Brown, those little routes, and it's going to eat us up all day just because Joe Flacco.
Can y'all imagine how heated Shaq's going to be if we don't make the trade happen for Jeffrey Simmons? Then he has a day against us when we go to Tennessee.
I mean, it
could have been worse. I told you.
It could have been worse than not getting Jared Verse.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, Jared Verse's best game was against us. He got his first sacks.
Everybody has their best game against us, no matter how good we are.
Shit.
Both their rookies had good games against us. It was Jared Verse and the other kid
Brandon
from FSU, Frisk.
And guess who we play this weekend?
Who?
Latu.
From UCLA, right?
UCLA.
Yeah, we got a lot of defensive edge rushers this weekend. We got DeForest Buckner, Latu, and who's the other freaking guy?
The guy from Michigan.
Kwity Paye, Latu, and DeForest Buckner. That's what's coming down old Robinson's face.
Hey, so what's up with Dallas Turner, man? Speaking of rookies, where is our rookie at?
He's behind 2 elite pass rushers. That's the problem.
But the thing is, even when those pass rushers go to the sideline for a break, he's not the one that they sub in very often.
I think he's too small.
Whoa.
College game different than NFL game. Pro, there's levels to this, right? I think he's too small.
Elvis Dumerville was smaller than him, and he played the damn game.
Okay.
Hey, Shaq, you remember how after the draft I was saying, man, I wanted a defensive tackle, but we got the best defender coming out of the draft, so I guess I'm happy? Well, now that I realize that the other pass rushers, the veteran pass rushers, are so good, it's like, damn, we don't really need Dallas Turner. I wish we'd have got that defensive tackle now. Now, a couple of years from now, this might not age well. After they're gone.
He's young as I think he's young as JJ, right?
Yeah, he's 21. He might have just turned 22, but he's like 21, 22.
My problem with the pick was we're trying to run now. Like we don't need him to develop into a monster. We needed a monster now.
Maybe Flores just doesn't like defensive rookies because he didn't really give Lewis Seen, the other first round draft pick, much tick either. Like what?
That wasn't his pick.
Well, I don't want to compare the two guys. I really don't.
It's kind of hard not to, man. I'm like, these are 2 first round picks, and they didn't see the fucking field. It's like, dude,
I mean, Dallas Turner had a sack the first game.
Yeah, remember he had to jump on the 250-pound quarterback just to take him down.
He didn't have to. He just did.
Yeah, you know well he had to. He's small. Sorry,
I'm not
Dallas.
losing faith. I'm not losing faith in Dallas Turner. I just think it didn't click for him yet. We just gotta wait for it to click, and then he's gonna get to the fast start.
He'll explode.
It's 8 games into the season. We need him to click
I think
now.
that if he were pressed into service and had to start because we didn't have one of those two other guys, I think he'd be performing.
Yeah, I think he would use his speed over his.
If he were pressed
weight.
into service and had to play, he'd do all right.
There's just not much margin for error with him. Like, he doesn't get too many downs, and then, he had that play, or he gets out there 12 man on the field. Oh, we're done for the game.
He's looking around like
he didn't step foot on the field again.
Just put your ass on the bench, Rook.
So I don't know if it was the Rams or Lions game. He did have he got in the backfield and they tried to do like a halfback screen. And he jumped and interfered with the pass. So he's getting there. It's just like he's not making the splash plays that the national media or we're going to talk about.
Well, he's only had like 10 snaps combined in the last 2 games, so something about that's got to change.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's. He wants to give him more. I like how Flores says he wants to give him more playing time, but he was the 12th man on the field, and it was penalized. So, like, if you're a coach, you got to discipline that ass still. Like, you ain't.
Oh wow! I wish that would carry over to other penalties.
Yeah.
Are they going to say, Ivan Pace, are you hurt? I think you might be hurt, Ivan.
We're gonna enter a really soft part of our schedule as far as on paper, where we got the Colts, the Jaguars, and the Titans. The Colts are 4-4, the Jaguars are 2-6, and the Titans are 1-6.
That's half the AFC South.
That's more than half.
Win.
We've already beat the best of the AFC South.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think this is an opportunity for us to get things right? Like, this is a good time to have this? Or do you think it's a time to give us some false hope if we do good on these games?
I say this is the time to open up the fucking playbook.
Yeah.
Like, let's open up this playbook. I mean, the Jaguars' defense is horrible. Colts' defense isn't too bad. Titans' defense isn't anything right. Open up the offensive playbook. Let's see what we actually have out here. Bring T.J. Hawkinson in the game. Let's see what plays we can run for him. I think it's a good stretch to enter the later part of the season, right? Because we're going to be playing the Falcons. We're going to be playing Lions, Packers, Bears. Just open that playbook up, see what works during this 3-game stretch, and then use that against the Packers, Bears, and the Lions and the Falcons when they're coming up.
To just take what Cody said one step further, take risks.
Mm-hmm.
These are teams where we can make a mistake, and we should be able to come back from making that mistake. This is not the Lions where we can't give the ball up. We can't let them get a lead. I mean, if the Tennessee Titans end up getting Skull Joe, I know you. If the Tennessee Titans, open up a 10-point lead in the first quarter, we can come back from that if we make a mistake trying to do something innovative and crazy to see what we've really got under the hood. So these games, open it up, take risks, do some crazy shit. This is the time to do the halfback jump pass.
No, I never want to see that again.
See if we can make it work.
I'm down to see JJ throw a pass, but I'm not that halfback jump pass. No, I don't want to ever see that again.
This could open up Sam Darnold. Okay, here, take those risks.
Yep.
Now get confident in yourself, right? Like, throw that thing, right? Launch that thing. Don't second guess it. Just do it. All right? It could build.
Throw it at 3 seconds, Sam. Do not get to 4.
Mm-hmm. Don't overthink it. Just do it.
If we go through these 3 games and we don't go 3-0, will you be disappointed?
Yes. 100%. Yes.
Like 2-1, not going to do it for you.
I mean, I'll take it, but I'll be disappointed because my expectation is that we dominate these next 3 games because we are better than all on paper. We're better than all those teams. Even on the coaching staffs, we're better than all those teams. If we don't pull out 3 straight, I'm going to be disappointed. Even if we go 2-1, absolutely. Like, we should, to Cody's point, be aggressive, take risks, run up the score.
Travis, fix that comment. I know you didn't mean it like that. Shaq, what about you? You disappointed if we don't go 3-0?
Yeah, I have to say I would be disappointed. Even though the Colts we can't sleep on, because even though it should be an easy win, remember the last time we played them, it was worse than they are now, and they almost blew us the fuck out.
But we made the biggest comeback in history. We set that up. That was for TV. That was a Saturday game.
TV. That was the coach saying, "Yeah, it's not worth winning this game."
Shaq, I said that too. I was like, you know what? They went into the locker room. Coach said, you know what? We proved we could beat them, but we need that draft pick. So let's go ahead and pump the brakes. There you go. There you go, Travis.
So yeah, I would be disappointed in 3-0. Well, if we don't go 3-0.
Fish, what game out of these three do you have the most concern about? Or are you not concerned about any of them?
All right, so check it out. In a vacuum, if I were just looking at these three games, I would normally say I'd be cool with 2-1. If we lost to the Colts, who I think are the best of the three teams, in a vacuum, I'd say I could live with that. Wouldn't be happy, but I could live with it. The problem is it's not in a vacuum, and we've just lost 2 games, and now it's the Colts up now. If we were playing the Titans and the Jaguars and then the Colts, and we beat the Titans, Jaguars, and then lost to the Colts, optically it'd be like, all right, I can live with that. But I can't have a 3-game losing streak. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Don't care. We have got to go 3-0. We have got to beat these 3 teams. Because if we turn around and lose to the Titans, that's going to be a bad weekend for me, Cody, and Rinaldi especially. But I'm just saying, to lose to that team, to have them come up and beat us, and the Jags is kind of the same thing. I mean, we've got a revenge game against the Jags now. We cannot lose this game. We have got to win this game for our boy Cam. So,
do we got any Vikings over there on the Jaguars? Oh, yeah, we do. Ezra. Dang.
What a
who's
turnaround.
Chaz Surratt playing for now?
Hmm?
Is Chaz Surratt on their team?
No, he's on the Jets. Didn't he have a sack against us?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dodgers take the lead 7-6.
That's crazy.
We were no match for the Dodgers tonight, fellas, but we're doing our damnedest.
Well, now if they win, then the viewership will kick up.
Maybe. I'll be disappointed if we don't go 3-0. But even if we go 3-0, I'm going to be somewhat pessimistic about it. That's why I asked the question, because I feel like it's going to be like inflated victories. Like we should win these games, but now we're going to be looking at records. We're 8-2. We're going to get cocky again. We're going to get confident again, and then we got to go, start playing our division. So that does kind of worries me a little bit, but I'll be mostly disappointed if we lose. Like we should. That's what we should do. It's just I'm afraid that we're gonna get this false sense of hope again. Is that not a thing?
I mean, it is the thing, but if you look at our division, we got 2 of our divisional teams playing each other. So if we win this game, we're gonna be right back in the mix for best team in the NFC North, or at least second, because the Lions or Packers, one of them got to lose and go 6-2.
Are we competing for the division right now, or are we just competing for the 5th seed, Cody?
I mean, I still think we're competing for the division. It's going to be tough. I had a toss up between the Packers and the Bears as the team that could probably challenge the Lions, but not likely. The Lions, the Kings of the North. I think what we've seen against the Lions is we did challenge them. I think we can beat them. And if that means we could beat the Lions, we've already beaten the Packers, haven't faced the Bears yet, I'm pretty confident in that. I think we can take this division. I don't think on paper we're the best team in the division, but I think we play just as hard as the Lions do in the division. And the Lions aren't even the best team on paper.
Fair.
I'll tell you what, I'm okay with the Lions sweeping us in the regular season because it's really hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year.
but we'd be the team to let it happen.
I just
So I don't like
There's that PTSD.
Oh, it's real. It exists.
It exists. Remember the Packers game and AP going off for 2,000 or 2,008 yards or whatnot he had, and then the following week in the playoffs, 2 weeks later in the playoffs, we just throw Joe Webb in there.
So the first game of this soft part of our schedule is probably the hardest part of that soft, and it's the Colts, who are 4-4, coming off a tough loss against Houston. They got Jonathan Taylor back, who's been out for a couple weeks, which is probably why the record is what it is. What are your thoughts, Cody, when it comes to the Indianapolis Colts?
It's going to be a tough game. Jonathan Taylor, we saw what Kyron Williams did to us. Jonathan Taylor's the same running back. So it's going to be a very, very tough game. And you stop Jonathan Taylor, I think you have a chance to win. Look out for Josh Downs. Josh Downs is going to be a huge player in this game. Alec Pierce, I'm not too worried. Right, he's had one catch in the past 2 games. Don't really care. He's just a deep threat, and he only gets the ball thrown to him when Anthony Richardson is on the field as the deep pass, because that's all Anthony Richardson knows how to do. I'm concerned about Jonathan Taylor. I think that if we lose this game, it's going to be because of Jonathan Taylor.
What about you, E? What are your thoughts on the Indianapolis Colts?
Definitely not overlooking them, man. You've seen what Flacco's done when he's gotten the opportunity. I didn't know that Jonathan Taylor was hurt, and this is going to be his first game back.
He came back. His first game back was last week.
Yeah,
he missed 3 games, I think.
No, I'll say this. I feel pretty good compared to the last 2 teams that we played. They don't have the same weapons. And even though Joe Flacco's he's a good quarterback, he's not on the same level as the last 2 quarterbacks that we played, right? So I think if the defense put pressure on him, the wide receivers that they have in the secondary or out that's playing and running those routes, I think that our secondary matches up better with theirs. And I think they can win those matchups versus the Cooper Kupps and the Puka Nakuas of the world and the Amon-Ra St. Browns. We're not going up against any of that type of talent. So I think we have a really good opportunity.
Same question, Fish. What are your thoughts on the Colts?
Oh, man, I absolutely hate the fact that we just took the second-year quarterback out, and now we've got a seasoned veteran. It really concerns me. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You guys will say, I'll say it 50 times. Flores is not as good against an experienced quarterback who's seen it all and done it all. He can't trick him as well. So that's a new wrinkle. Do I think we're still going to win? Hell yeah. But do I think that we would have probably beat them by 2 scores with Richardson in the game, and now it's probably going to be a field goal game.
Do you agree with that assessment, Shaq? Are we in a little bit more trouble with Flacco playing over Richardson? And I didn't mean to phrase it more in trouble, but does Flacco concern you more than Richardson at this point in his career?
Pretty much, yeah, because so the issue with Richardson would have been, yeah, he's a mobile quarterback, but once we contain his mobility, what is he going to do with throwing the ball? And it's like he was so sporadic. Like, I compare his throwing to like Tavares Jackson, RIP, with a better arm, because the throws Anthony Richardson can make is elite, but he doesn't have the accuracy and he doesn't have the touch or the when you basically leave the receiver open,
the placement
and all that. So it's like with him, it's all or nothing. Joe Flacco, he's more veteran-like, and he's able to, if he sees something, he's gonna be able to pick us apart. Yeah, he's a not mobile, but he's a statue quarterback. And if we get home, we don't have to worry about him running out the pocket. I'm pretty sure we could have more sacks. It's just depend on if we can get the pressure.
How are the Colts OL? Like, how's their offensive line? Are they top half of the league, or are they terrible?
Yeah, they're top 5.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably
before Darrisaw's injury. Shaq and I were pontificating Quentin Nelson.
Yeah,
they got somebody named Quentin Nelson on their offensive line.
They have a top 5 offensive line and a top 5 running back, and that's the best thing about them.
Yeah.
And that seems to kind of want to be our Achilles heel, is a good running back and a good offensive line. So that does worry me a little bit. But I think their defense would put up points.
Josh Downs put up 109 and 1 touchdown against Stingley. So
never mind. If we go 2-1, guys, I mean that's not bad, right? No, we can't. No, we can't. Especially we just lost on national TV in front of everybody on Thursday, in front of me while I was there in person. We can't go do it again on national TV.
Imagine the fucking can't do it in primetime fucking shit we're gonna get if we don't win this game for Darnold.
Yeah, it never was Kirk.
It never was.
What are we favored right now, Cody? With last I saw was 6 points. Is that still where it's sitting at, or has it?
No, I think it might have. I would guess it shifted to 4.5. Let me look at the line.
Because
I think it was shift to 4.5.
When I saw it at 6, I thought that was pretty high, and like, damn, they're giving us a lot of respect.
Yeah.
Because this is one game on the schedule. When I saw it originally, I was like, all right, this one might be tougher than some think it is. Like, I don't ever really remember us like dominating the Colts. Like, I feel like that's always like a close game, no matter what's going on in the season.
Let me look it up here.
All righty. So, Keith, are we good to move on to Shaq's matchups?
Yeah.
Lay it on us, Shaq.
So, with the matchups, we've been talking about the Colts run game, and like that is going to be the key to basically if we win or lose. If we could stop their running backs, I'm pretty sure we're going to give Joe Flacco a hard time because now he's going to have to stand in the pocket a little longer and, try to pick our defense apart. So they got Jonathan Taylor, who we brought up, who is, I consider, top 5, top 7 running back in the league. And they have Trey Sermon, who's a quality backup to Jonathan Taylor, a 1-2 punch, if I do say so.
Okay.
And going to the other side of the ball, it would be their defensive line versus our O-line. So a couple of their defensive players you might know are DeForest Buckner, who used to be on the 49ers. He would be a great defensive tackle to get for us if the Colts just so happen to want to trade. They got Kwity Paye, Latu, Taven Bryant, Raekwon Davis. So they got elite. Well, I don't want to say elite starters. They got good starters, and then they got elite depth. So
yeah, we don't need depth though. We need somebody who can move the needle.
Well, DeForest Buckner would.
Yeah,
but that's about it.
I don't think he's worth the first either, is he?
I don't think we have.
I know you give a first.
I don't think we would have to pay a first. We might trade like the second or third.
Yeah,
and then
he's not worth the first.
Okay, I'm down with that. Good stuff, Shaq. Good stuff.
Yeah. So
what do you think, Cody? Do you think? How do you think our O line's going to fare against their D line?
The spotlight's going to be on Cam Robinson the whole game on this offensive line. I expect them to they're going to have DeForest Buckner lined up directly over the top of Cam, right? And then they're probably going to be sending Latu or Kwity Paye on that side. So, I mean, I get it. Cam Robinson's probably pretty good, but you don't get that chip that Darrisaw does, then comes back to the defender he's guarding, right? So you're going to have to load that side up with a tight end, a good blocking tight end. I expect us to open up the playbook a little more, and I expect us to open up the 12-man personnel some more because we've only gone 12-man personnel 20% this year. That is it. So I think the key is one of the, not a key, but a thing for our offense to do is they're going to open up a 12-man personnel a lot more, just so we can see what we have on that side, and then we'll start spreading it out more. And I think I think that the spotlight is going to be on Cam Robinson, fresh left tackle coming in the game. That's even if he comes in and starts right away.
I'm about to say, do you think he plays this game?
I don't know. They're going to see what Quesenberry is, and I eventually, if he gives up a lot of sacks on that side, they're probably going to see Cam Robinson over there.
I mean, he does have to learn the offense to a certain degree.
That's some positions are plug and play. I don't know if blindside tackle is that or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
So I think we're going to see some Quesenberry. We might even see some Brandel out there. Like, I really expected to see Brandel out there if we didn't make a trade, because I do think they want to get Reisner in there, and I don't think they're ready to give up on Ingram yet.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We might be ready. We might be ready too. I don't think they're ready to pull the plug yet.
I don't understand why. He must have compromising photos of someone in the front office, because there's no way. He's terrible.
Emiliano says, I'm pissed that his first name begins with E2.
Yeah,
Family member on life support. It's going to take a doctor to say he's hurting more now. You know what I'm saying? Don't pull that plug. Let him go.
I think we might overplay how bad he does a little bit.
No, I don't think we do.
I think a little bit.
Just a tiny bit. Like, it's the plays like
Jackson on this dude's.
What? I've been watching the film. Like,
I have too.
Yeah,
like,
he's not good.
So you seen when he put Jared Verse. Him and Brian O'Neill put Jared Verse on his ass that first drive. PFF probably won't bring that shit
I
up.
seen him on his ass.
Yeah, PFF don't have that.
Yards.
The problem with Ed Ingram is
PFF on the bathroom break.
He can play 99 snaps where he's pretty good, but that 100th snap is just really, really bad.
But
the
the thing is, you can say that about most players, but because he's Ed Ingram, he don't get no benefit of the doubt from any of us.
And it's weird. Like, yeah, as an offensive line, you teach the kid. I teach teaching 10 under kids. If you have no one to block, go fucking find someone to block. Don't just stand there with nobody around you. Go find someone to block. Or, hey, you're not supposed to look backwards into the backfield. You're not supposed to do that. And you see that probably 70% of every single play. He's not blocking anyone, or he's looking backwards into the backfield.
I'm just going to say he started out doing such stupid stuff that he's dug himself a big old narrative hole that he's got to dig out of. And it's almost
That is my problem with him. It's like when you look at the film, it's like he's looking for somebody to block. I'm like, why is it always him just looking for somebody to block?
Yeah.
Do they just leave
he
him
was our
open?
Achilles heel last year, and he's our Achilles heel on the line this year. That's 2 years in a row where he's been a starter.
You also got him next to freaking Garrett Bradbury. Maybe give him a whole center instead of half a center.
Either change the center out or change the guard out. I don't care what you got to do. Figure one of the two things out.
I don't hate Bradbury either. He's just too small. Like, he has a lot of heart and it makes up for some of it, but there's just some things he can't do. He's limited.
So are you saying that 300-pound thing is bullshit, Keith?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to look. Ingram's got to look to his left. Like, this dude's small. Maybe instead of standing there looking down the field with my hands out like this, nobody to block, I should probably help the guy that's over the center and block that dude that's going through Bradbury, right?
That's what
Last time he tried to do that, he slapped the ball out of the quarterback's hand.
Yeah. He can't even help right.
It's my door open.
Oh, that's me. I've been sitting here. I'm at my daughter's ballet practice or gymnastics practice, so I'm just waiting time, man.
So Cody, give us the keys to the game, buddy.
So we got five keys again.
Solo.
5 keys again. Yeah, I know solo. So I gotta figure out what the heck Ronaldo was saying. Now I know what he was saying here. But my first key of the game is make downs have a down night. We saw what Puka did to us. All right, short throws, ball got out quick. This guy put up 109 yards and 1 touchdown. Derek Stingley Jr. Like this kid's no joke. I think he came out of North Carolina, right, with Drake May. He came out. Yeah, yep. He's solid possession catcher. He will catch everything in the middle, your short routes, and he will take the top off you. He will take that top off you once in a while. So make downs down night. Don't let this receiver beat you, because Flacco loves throwing to Josh Downs. I think Josh Downs has the most target uptick is when Joe Flacco comes in the game.
What's up, pre-World Series champ Rinaldi?
We ain't there yet, baby. We got one more inning.
I said pre. So what's the second key? What's the second key to the Colts game then?
Geez, look, I gotta find that. What is the second key to the Colts game?
How about cover the receivers so the pressure gets home?
Oh yeah, dude. Can we possibly do that? Like maybe a little man? Can we man up? Can we just be men and man up?
I would like to see us do it.
I mean, what? It's Shaq Griffin, and who's the other guy? I think he's like a former MVP.
Caleb Evans?
Caleb Evans?
Yeah. Why can't these guys man up? Why can't we just let them man up and see what the hell happens? Why can't we do it? Anyway,
because we let Pace go. That's why.
Pace.
I mean, not Pace. Booth. We let Booth go.
Yeah.
The Cowboys cut him yet?
Not yet.
No, I think he's still playing.
Matter of fact, they might cut him because they just activated Bland.
We might be able to pick him up then.
Well, one cornerback is a museum piece. The other cornerback you found at the Goodwill.
God damn, Cody.
Damn. That is
Damn.
accurate.
But seriously, why can't we cover these guys? Why can't we?
I'm with you. Let's man up on them and have the safeties playing safety because playing the zone's not working. You gotta get out here, Rinaldi. Go for it.
I'm gonna go back. But how about a coverage sack? Have you really seen one this year?
Nope.
I don't think. I mean, there maybe have been one, but I don't think so.
No,
I've not seen a coverage sack.
The safeties are good enough. We saw how good the safeties were against the Rams. Like they tracking the going down. Like when the dudes were in zone in the flat zone because they were too worried about the short pass, and that's when they went over the top of us because we switched to like a cover 2 hard flat, and they launched that ball, and you see Harrison Smith screaming down the field to get that ball out of there, and then Bynum getting that, or Metellus getting that ball out of there with that diving swat. Like we saw those plays happening from the safeties. So yeah, man them up. Let them safeties work.
Baby, let's go.
They're good enough.
Our next key to the game.
Next key, turn up Jones. All right. The Colts have the second worst yards given up by a running back. If you have Aaron Jones in your fantasy roster, start him. You're going to expect 15 points. I'm going to say that right now. They've given up almost 1,200 yards rushing this year. All right. And we're only in the 8th game of the year. So turn Jones up. All right. And that'll open up your pass play. Open up your pass plays. It'll open up that playbook. Now we can start doing the play action. KOC tells Sam, I don't care. Throw the ball as far as you can. Open that playbook up.
I got Tyson Chandler sitting on my bench. Should I get him warmed up?
Oh.
I call him Tyson. I call him Tyson. I call him Tyson right now because he ain't Ty right now. He ain't tying.
Get him off your bench and go get like Dotavian Wicks or someone.
Yeah.
So you want to see Aaron Jones get 20 plus carries this game?
Yes, I want to see Aaron because it's going to open up that deep shot, those chances, those risks, those wrist shots. Like you see one-on-one coverage. If I'm KOC, I'm telling Sam Darnold, if it's one-on-one, let it go. Let it go off of that play action.
All right. Well, let's get Jones involved heavily. He didn't have a great game against the Rams. I felt like they tried to get him going. It just wasn't going. So hopefully they can get it going against one of the worst run defenses in the league. What we got next?
We got help the left tackle, who now we have a new one, with Oliver and buy Darnold some time. And now we have another tight end in the game too. To be honest with you, I think that this is sort of a no-brainer. I think that having 2 tight ends on the field and buying Darnold some time, it's going to keep those receivers open, and we're going to be able to hit those long 7-step drops that KOC just can't get away from throwing, right? I mean, let's be honest about it. This dude loves throwing those 7-step drops, and I don't care if they're 2 yards deep in the end zone. He's going to throw it, baby. So you know what? That left tackle's a problem, but we got a solution. So let's go. Let's use that and see what we got.
I like it. I like it a lot. And our last key of the game, Cody.
Hey, it's a big one, right? It's been all over the news. It was an Instagram post or a Twitter post and whatnot. Hey, I can see Jordan Addison is mad because he's not getting the ball. Deep down inside, He doesn't want to really explain it, but he's mad. He wants the ball. 3 targets a game is not going to do it. You have all these weapons on the field. If I'm KOC again, I am telling him, let it go. All right? Throw the ball. If it's the JJ, that's fine. JJ's double coverage, launch that thing to Addison. KOC, scheme a play up to where it's not JJ getting those routes, Give Jordan Addison those routes once in a while. Right? He's open. He's always open. If 9 yards of separation.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And for the record, I don't think he posted that with any intent of wanting to get out of Minnesota.
No, not at all. He did not post that at all. I know he wants the ball, though. So
he wants the ball. But you know what he saw? He saw JJ complain about getting these 70, 80-yard games and not happening, and he got fed the ball against the Rams.
Yeah.
He just wants to get fed. That's all.
Who wouldn't? And let's be honest about this offense. I mean, to that point, this offense is a deep throw offense. It just is. It's the way it's set up. It really shouldn't change. You can talk all we want about let's throw light, let's throw underneath, let's do all this stuff. And even if it's open, it's not the way we play the game. Let's go back to what won us 5 in a row. And unfortunately, whether we like it or not, it's deep passes, man. It's where it is. And now that we got Hawk, maybe we can mix it in a little bit, mix in the run. Yeah. But guess what? It's all about those wide receivers, and we got 2 great ones.
And it's crazy. KOC is named as one of the best play callers, right? Like, he calls those plays. We saw it 3 times against the Rams.
I feel like KOC gets a lot of credit because of where he comes from. So they just assume like what they do, he could do.
Mm-hmm. Well, you feed the ball to Aaron Jones, turn up Aaron Jones, get that play action working again. Get that play action going.
Yeah, but to Ronaldo's point of saying like he likes to do these 7-step drops on these long passes, why? Why not make a freaking adjustment?
I don't think Darnold can do it, man. I don't think it's in his game.
You don't think Darnold could throw a 5-yard slant?
When Darnold was doing that with the Jets, with whoever, he just wasn't good, man. And
that
guess
was
what?
Good in San Fran. He threw I remember that 7-yard slant.
I'm saying it's not his game. They're not a dink and dunk team. It's just, especially with Darnold, the quarterback, it's not the way he plays the game. He's got a rocket arm and he wants to use it. Let him use it. Just let it go.
I just feel like Addison could be a great yards after the catch guy on those short passes. Like that, I don't think that's JJ's game, but I think that's Addison's game. I think you let Addison, you give him that ball through the middle of the field and let him make a move.
We're not good at yards after the catch, man. Well, maybe with Addison, but we're not great at that.
Well, because our best wide receiver isn't. JJ's not fast. For a guy named Jets, he's not that fast.
Yeah, he's not. He's quick. Runs routes.
Yeah, he's a great route runner, great at catching the ball, but he's not fast.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Addison, I think he can catch that quick pass and turn it into something. And maybe that's how you get a guy like that involved in the game.
Yeah, without a doubt. All right, boys. Keys to the game done. Going back to my game. Sorry. Go Dodgers. And
he's from New Jersey.
He's from New Jersey. Let's Skol.
I'll say this, though. If you go back to when he was on the Rams, they wasn't no dink and dunk offense. They was air that shit out. When they had Odell Beckham, Cooper Kupp, they was air that shit out. Matthew Stafford, hold that ball until somebody get open. Throw that shit deep.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to throw a slant pass in over a decade. It ain't just KOC. It's like,
man, Case Keenum threw a mean slant. Bro.
Well, Sam Bradford threw a mean slant. Come on.
I mean,
70.6% completion percentage. He threw some mean slants.
He wasn't throwing slants. He was checking down.
Y'all threw a mean slant. Are we just naming quarterbacks?
Gus Farrar, he had a slant.
Nah, he had a good deep ball.
Yeah, one good deep one. All right, let's do predictions for this game. I wish Ronaldo stuck around for that, but all right. So, Cody, what's your prediction for this game? Score and who's going to win?
I think the offense opens up quite a bit here. I think they're going to utilize a lot of Jordan Addison. It's going to go into one of my hot takes. I got us winning 31-24 ball game.
Nice. What do you got, Shaq? What's your prediction on this one?
I got the Vikings winning 28-17.
Ball game.
Yeah, all right. I felt there was something coming after that. Cody's like, I'll finish it for you.
It was, but I was like,
I thought the hot sauce was coming.
confidence, man. They got me a little shaken up.
Yeah. I mean, since you said 28-17, I'm not too far away from that, so I'll go ahead and jump in. And I got the Vikings win this one 27-17.
Ooh, that's a good number. I kind of love that. Hey, the odds is it's -5.5 Vikings, so it dropped.
It did drop a little bit, huh?
We're smashing on the Colts right now.
When they put Flacco in.
Yeah, I think it'll go down to 4.5 by the time the game starts on Sunday night.
Michael Fish, you know you have to do here, right?
Colts 43, us 6. No, I'm kidding.
Yes. Oh. What?
6. God.
If it's 42-6,
They're going to go for the 2-point conversion at the end of the game just to show us how it's done.
I quit the show.
28-27 Vikings. We're going to be questioning our team the whole time during the game. They're going to barely eke out the win, maybe even a game winner by Reichard at the end. It's going to be a tough game, guys. This is going to be another tough one.
So what'd you have to score again, Michael Fish?
28-27 Vikings.
I don't know if I can deal with that, bro. Like, I need one of these easy wins. I really do. Not easy win, but convincing wins. I don't want to say easy. I need a convincing win. I need to see us play hard against a team that's playing well, and it has to be convincing. Like, I have it at 10. It doesn't have to be 10. But 1-point game, I can't do that. I can't do it back and forth all day. I need to chill. I'm going to make some wings. I want to chill and enjoy my wings.
I mean, if you look at it, Joe Flacco,
we lost though, Keith.
Crazy.
We lost twice, so you are now free to drink beers during the game.
I'm gonna drink more than anyone's ever drank during a game, and see how that works. And if we win, then I'm gonna have to do that every week,
every weekend.
Like, all right, well, last game I had 11. I gotta have 12 this week.
Got to keep up in the tempo
at 10 a.m.
Yeah. You think it'd be worth shit?
I just want to go through our division real quick. Like, how crazy is it how dominant our division has freaking been? And how much does it figure that this would happen when the Vikings are actually having a good season? We got the Lions at 6-1, Packers at 6-2, we're 5-2, and the damn Bears are 4-3 by a Hail Mary. They were almost tied with us. We almost went to freaking last place after winning 5 of the first 5 games, going to 5-2, sitting tall. Right now, we're sitting in 3rd freaking place. Oof. How crazy is that?
Thank
Not
you, JD
crazy
Daniels.
at all.
Oh, thank you, JD Daniels. Like, what did you just say, Fish? Thank you, JD Daniels. Thank you, and thank you, whoever that Bears player was, Stevens or whatever, that was talking to the Commanders fans while the plane was going on.
You know what's crazy? He had a chance at the ball too.
He's the one that tipped it.
He's the one that popped it up.
I mean, he did that wrong, but he did what a cornerback was supposed to do, right? Like, try to get that thing out of there.
Maybe if he would have been in position, he would have picked it.
Yeah, he probably would have picked it. That's crazy. I'm not surprised at all because I had 3 teams in the North going in the playoffs this year.
Oh yeah, what 3 was that?
It wasn't us. It was the Bears back in the Lions. You know, look at where it's at right now. Like, if one of these games or 2 of these games goes downhill for us, it might be in place. You know, so 3 teams from the North are going.
The amazing thing is 3 of the teams are built on defense, and 1 is built on offense. And I still believe, I still stand by it. The defense is going to wear the offense down. I've said it for years. Good offense and great defense beats great offense and good defense.
I'm going to argue with you on that one. I think 3 of the 4 teams are built on offense.
Go on.
The Lions. Look at the Lions, a 2 running back system. Their offensive line, their receivers that they got, their quarterback. the Packers with the amount of young wide receivers that they got that are really good. Their quarterback, their offensive line is pretty good still too. They're deep. I mean, the Lions defense isn't not elite at all. They lost their best player, right? The only two people on that team for that defense that's any good is Brian Branch and not Anzalone. He's mid, but
Yep, they're the one I said. I think we're built on offense.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 teams are built on offenses, in my opinion. The only team that I think is
I'll
built
argue
on
with you. All right, so here's the deal, right? Green Bay, much like us at the beginning of the season, they were being talked about for causing the most turnovers in the league, and we were second most. So they, like us, were not a high potent offensive team. It was their defense that, before they played us, it was their defense that was opportunistic, getting them turnovers, and they were scoring off of that. The Bears, all people talk about their damn defense. Caleb Williams is just kind of starting to figure it out. He's only had a couple of good games in this league. His last 2 games have been pretty good, but before that, Caleb Williams wasn't doing shit. So while their offense might come around because they have plenty of good weapons, right now as it stands, the Bears, Packers, and Vikings have been winning off of defense, and the Lions are winning off of offense. That could change, but right now that's the way it is.
The Packers and the Lions are top 10 offenses this year.
Yeah, I think I go 2-2 because I think I put the Vikings and Bears as a defensive team. I think I put the Packers and Lions as offensive. And fellas, we could end this right now, and we could let Fish go to bed, but nah, I want to see Rinaldi running in here after 3 outs. Sorry, Fish. I got to see it. I got to see Happy Rinaldi. Hope it's not hot.
Oh, I ain't mad now, but at 4:30 I will be.
I hope it's not hot, Rinaldi.
Ooh, it's props time, right?
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Give us your props, Cody.
So, big prop I got going on here. A scoring play of 38.5 yards over under. Just any scoring play.
Just for the Vikings or both teams?
Both teams. It's at plus 225 right now. It's a good little line you can play out there.
I'm taking the over.
I'm taking the over too. I think there's gonna be a 40 yard play here.
Aaron Jones run.
I hope so.
Actually, it might be an Addison pass. Feed 3.
Yeah, that's one. Wait till my hot take, man. It'll be spicy. What do you got, Jack? Over under 38.5 yards on a scoring play.
Say it one more time. Over under
38.5 yards for a scoring play. Both teams.
Either team. Is there going to be one?
Shit.
Either team. My bad.
Over because that's all the Colts go off of.
What about a Riker 40-yard field goal? Does that count?
No, I don't count.
I'm kidding. What about you, Fish? Think there's gonna be a big one?
Under. This is going to be a grinder.
Ooh.
Sure, we might have a big pass play to get us down the field, but we're going to be scoring. Both teams are going to be scoring from inside the 20.
Okay.
All right, 1 out, 2 outs to go.
All right, over under Jordan Addison 63 yards.
God, has he had that this year?
He's had it once.
Oh, because he had like that 60-yard pass or something against the Lions. Whew. I'm going over because. Oh, sorry. I started.
No, go right ahead, buddy. You're in it.
And I'm going over because the same thing I said about JJ. When a wide receiver complains a little bit, they tend to get fed.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Fish.
I'm going under. As a matter of fact, nope. I'll save it for my hot take.
Degenerate gamblers only go hit the unders. I'm gonna let you know right now.
Which is funny because I haven't gambled in years.
I was like, I don't take Fish as a gambler at all.
Yeah, taking the under here, boys. What?
Well, you Shaq.
Over. I got stand up for my boy Addison. I'm gonna go over. It's gonna be his first 100-yard game.
He got a USC quarterback. You think he would get fed, right? Being a USC receiver, you would think there would be something there. Like, hey, bro, like, don't they got like a secret handshake or something?
I think most of they was practicing during the all season. I don't know what it is. I really don't.
Because it's not that he's not open. You've been watching all 22s too. Like, he's open. It's just, I don't know. Feed JJ, I guess.
KOC. It has to be scheming. Like, I feel like Most I please is first read JJ, second read JJ. All right, then look for everybody else. The first 2 reads is JJ, then everybody else.
JJ's not open. Just dump it to Hawkinson. That's gonna be the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's dump it to Munt.
All right, Sam Darnold over under 2.5 passing touchdowns.
Over. He got to have 3 over.
How many times has he had 3 touchdowns this year?
Yeah, I'm not.
Rice maybe
once. I think once.
He's had a 4. Last game he had 2.
I don't think.
The game before the Lions game he had 3.
No, did he have 3 in the Lions game?
Yeah.
Okay, so then twice. I'm going under. I'm not saying he can't have a good game, have some yards. Maybe has he gone over 300 yet this year? I don't think he has.
No.
So I have more confidence he might go over 300, but not the 3 touchdowns. I don't see it.
I'm going with the over on this. I think the playbook is getting opened here. Addison, definitely. Damn. Ohio State's playing North Dakota Southern University. No, I think it goes over. I think Sam Darnold, the playbook gets opened. Jordan Addison.
I'm sticking with my degenerate gambler ways. I'm saying nope.
Fish about to go throw down a parlay after this.
If you hit all the unders, man, that's a lot of money.
If we don't see Fish again, you know he is.
He bought the suite for the next.
Yo, fellas, we got a new studio.
Fish is like, whoa, this is fun.
All right, here's a good one right here. This is probably the best one, probably the hardest one to predict. Vikings defense over under 266 yards passing, given up.
Over.
I'm going to the over.
I'm going to the over because we're going to be winning by so much they're going to have to pass. Joe Flacco's going to throw the ball. Dodgers win the World Series.
Oh, God.
What the Yankees?
I'm bringing the New Jersey native to cheer.
I am glad that I'm not out in public right now.
Fuck the Yankees.
I mean, yeah, there was no winning in this.
No.
Like if you're not a fan of either team, there was no winning.
I mean, there's multiple fans because they're like, there's a dude from North Dakota right now cheering his ass off in the boons.
No. I mean, unless you were a Dodger fan or a Yankee fan, you weren't rooting for either team.
No.
I mean, we all could be Dodgers and Yankees fans. They're like a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, that either you're a Dodger fan or a Yankee fan, or this was just an evil World Series.
Mm-hmm. I think
too bad Fernando Valenzuela didn't hang on for a few more days.
Oh, wow. I didn't expect Fish to be the one.
A baseball fan, you can go into a baseball city and you can ask 10 people, 5 of them will be either a Dodgers fan or a Yankees fan, even though their city has a baseball team.
I got to say, I expect it to be a better series than 4-1.
At least it wasn't a sweep.
I wish it was. It would have been better for us tonight.
I
really did not want this game to be played tonight.
Yeah.
Moment of silence for Robbie.
Yeah, Robbie's like Robbie's from out South Carolina and he's a Yankees fan. Like you can find those motherfuckers everywhere.
I'm just waiting for Ronaldo to run in naked.
Huh?
He probably too drunk right now.
I'm waiting for Ronaldo to run into the studio naked.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get ready to put him on the screen.
Right now it's empty. Right now it's empty.
Can't hear nothing.
See, I want to feel this. I want a Super Bowl.
I mean, you could just be a Dodgers fan for a day, go celebrate.
No. See, like, and that's why I'm glad that they're not gonna play on Friday or whatever. Because the bar I go to, bro, these Dodger fans, they cheer every freaking pitch like they just hit the game-winning home run. It's obnoxious. And then maybe I just don't know what winning's like. I don't know. I'm a Vikings fan. I'm a Twins fan. And I'm an Orlando Magic fan. I'm a Kings fan. I got to see 2 Stanley Cups. That was pretty cool. But nobody's a fucking hockey fan. There was nobody to high five.
if you're introducing your kids to baseball, don't go looking up the ABC, ESPN. Don't be looking those games up to show them because they're immediately going to play the Yankees or the Dodgers, and that's what they're going to be glued to, right? Go get on the Bally Sports Network or the Stream East. And Stream East, one of those low-level teams like the White Sox. Like, let them be White Sox fans. You know,
Show them the
let them know what
2004.
a championship actually means to you, like because you haven't won one, and when you finally hit one, it's going to
Show
be more.
them the 2004 divisional round of the playoffs where the Red Sox came back from being down 3 games and beat them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Netflix special right now about that.
I think I've seen it.
Dude, it was amazing.
Oh, you watched it?
Dave Roberts comes in and steals first, second, steals third, steals home, and then they just kept winning.
I'm just glad baseball's over.
Yeah, those seasons are too long.
The Wolves. Shit, baseball been over for me. So the season started, it was over.
Keith's probably a Wolves fan.
I can't do it. I can't do it. But the Twins, I had so much hope for them during that first half of the season, and then
melt in September. They always do.
They made the playoffs though, right?
No, the whole damn division did except for them. Well, the White Sox, but like we had 3 teams in our division go to the damn playoffs, and didn't they all win the first round? Or 2 of them did. 2 of them did.
That's just the Twins' life, man. You melt in September. If you're a Baldelli-led managed team, you melt in September. It's because he's like,
when I was like 10 years old, I was like, it's always going to be like this. Oh,
and what's wild about it?
Oh, it's never going to happen again.
What's wild about it is Baldelli. He likes to play everybody, no matter what, on his roster. But when it's September, you're looking at October is right around the corner. That's a playoff month. You don't play everybody. You play your best players.
Timeout. 2 things for you, George. 1, you don't got Netflix. 2, can you update me on that Kings and Knights score, please?
And he said it's a socialist.
He ain't wrong though, in a way. He ain't wrong. I see where he's coming from.
I have to see that.
I see where he's coming from.
He definitely has a Netflix account, and he can definitely tell me the score of that Kings and Knights game right now.
I just miss when Netflix used to send you the movies.
What was that, Fish?
I miss when Netflix used to send you the movies.
Oh yeah, and the paper envelope.
That was cool. That was cool. There's like nostalgia behind it, but I mean, it's a lot better now to be able to just click on the movie and see it. But I mean, there's nostalgia about going to Blockbuster on Friday night with your parents and picking out a game and a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaking into the adult section, which I never did.
What do you do behind that curtain, boy? George, you're disappointing me. What's the score of the game? I'm not watching right now. I'm watching the World Series and talking Vikings. What's the score of the Kings game, please? I don't think we're gonna hockey. I don't think we're gonna get a naked Ronaldo.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So it would be pretty much a hot take if someone said we will get a naked Ronaldo though.
It wouldn't be that hot. Me and Shaq synced it. If you see him out there with the hot tub, that's on you. Something you can't see.
Heard he's bringing his hot tub to Nashville. he's probably bringing the girls. You know,
he's probably bringing the hot tub mentality.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since he's not here and Fish is getting tired, I can see in his eyes. I actually have to work tomorrow too. Damn, I should have ended this a long time ago.
Yeah, I gotta work too.
I gotta work too.
Oh, you guys don't gotta work? You should have told me. I would have ended it for you guys, no problem. Not you, Fish. Oh, don't do that. Don't stroke the beard.
You're bringing that helmet to Nashville, right?
I'm wearing it on Broadway.
Hell yeah, you are.
Oh boy, you guys gonna be drinking out of that thing.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into these hot takes. Cody, what do you got? What's your hot take?
So my hot take, I was saying it, Jordan Addison. will have more receiving yards than Justin Jefferson and will be going off for 130 plus.
Ooh. So both.
Both.
Okay. Michael Fish, you look locked and loaded. What do you got with your hot take?
Going the other direction. Jordan Addison's stat line is going to read 1 reception and 15 or fewer yards.
What?
It's a battle.
Why? You guys both look the right way. Perfect. What do you mean? That'd be like a season low.
Mhm.
I don't like this, Fish.
What do you mean it's dead? I mean it ceased to exist.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I mean, it's not living. I mean, Hawkinson's coming back. It's just one more mouth to feed.
Hey, I tried to trade him for Stephon Diggs for the past 3 weeks. Thank you, Shaq, for not accepting.
Yeah, apparently my trade got vetoed. I don't know what happened there.
Shaq, I was gonna cancel that trade if it didn't get vetoed. I was fucked up.
I was like, oh, the trade's still active. Click.
Thank you, Kareem Hunt. All right, Shaq, what's your hot take for this game?
So my hot take is JJ, TJ, and Jordan Addison will all have a touchdown this game.
Ooh. Did you take the over on the 2.5?
I did.
Okay, just making sure. Make sure you're consistent there. Damn, I like it. If they do that, they win the game. And I have 2, and I don't know which one to go with.
Both.
Goes what you feel.
No, neither. Neither of them are that hot. All right, I'm gonna go with the Vikings defense gets back on track and have 4+ sacks and 2+ turnovers.
It's hot. I'll give that.
It's wild. My other one was gonna. I'll save it because I might use it next week.
I want to use one more. I want to say Stephon Gilmore seals the game again with an interception after getting his shit pushed in all game last game.
Let's see if this guy's got a hot take.
World fucking champions! And I don't care if we bought it. We won! We're the fucking champions, man! Woo!
Damn, I just lost a bet, Rinaldi.
For tomorrow?
Yeah, I won a lot of them, man. I got a lot of Dodger hats coming.
Yeah, but I bet that you were gonna run in naked.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have done that. I didn't
With the Dodgers jersey.
No, I don't wear gear during the game, man.
Oh, superstition.
Yeah, like if you lose and you're wearing gear, like
you gotta burn it.
I got a whole routine. I take it off, I throw it, and my wife goes and she picks it up. She goes and hangs it up.
Yeah, it doesn't wash it.
Oh,
it doesn't get washed.
So how bad is this? That just reminded me. So I was at the Vikings and Rams game, and when I come home the next day, my 5-year-old asked me, she's like, "Dad, when they were scoring, did you throw your hat?" I was like, "No, not the game." She's like, "Oh, well, I was here throwing your hat." She was throwing my hat.
Awesome.
I was like, "You should throw the damn it doll." She's like, "You mean the voodoo doll?" It's not a voodoo doll. All right, Rinaldi, congratulations on your world championship, but I got to put you on the spot and ask if you have a hot take for this week.
I do have a hot take for this week. I think that we roll 5 games in a row right now. 5 games in a row. We're going to win 5 in a row. It doesn't mean, and that throws in a couple of teams that
Yeah, no, definitely.
We're going to win 5 in a row.
That includes the Bears and I think the Cardinals.
Yeah.
It puts us in the playoffs.
The Bears and Cardinals, those aren't like on paper, we should win those. Those are actually contending games for 2 teams that are contending for the playoffs.
Especially Cardinals.
Yeah. The Cardinals have been playing good. Kyler Murray's been playing good football. He's looking like he might have put the PlayStation away for the season.
I'm not afraid of those running quarterbacks with us. That's the one thing that we do well.
That's true. We have done pretty well with them, unless they also have a running back.
Well, there you go.
And Connor, he's a good running back, but he's a good like short yardage, score touchdown running back.
I got him on my fantasy team, but he's no stud.
Ronaldo, are we making a trade?
I'm still waiting for.
No, I don't think that one's gonna happen. We'll talk a little later.
I mean, you need one this week. I'm just saying.
I already got one.
Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson.
No, I got the Ty. What's the New Orleans quarterback tight end?
Oh, Taysom Hill's your tight end.
Yeah. It's 7 points. It's 7 points.
Take those 3 points. I'm trying to give you a tight end that doesn't have any receivers currently on that team.
Well, there
I'm
you go.
just ecstatic. It's 11 o'clock and we've moved to fantasy football.
No, we Fish. No, sorry, Fish. No. Sorry, Fish. Last takes, guys. Last takes, everybody. Jack, what's your final take for tonight?
Thanks everybody for joining us. We always have great time doing this. I know a lot of people was watching the World Series, but everybody who said, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps grow the channel. YouTube and Facebook. Also, you can donate money to us on, what is it, Buy Me Coffee?
Buy me a coffee.
Buy me a coffee. Let's go. And that's all I got. Make sure you stay safe and hopefully get ready for this game Sunday. We're back. Free 3.
Oh, I can't wait. Aftercare late night on a Sunday. Fish's favorite. Look at his mad dad. This mad dad up here in the corner. Michael Fish, what are your final words? He's like, good night.
Yeah.
Get off the road early tomorrow. Lots of little ghouls and goblins running around. They tend to not stay on the sidewalks. Don't hit any kids. Stay safe. Let's win a fucking football game. Let's skol.
Let's go.
David Rinaldi.
All right,
final words for the night.
Well, I'm going to piggyback off the 5 wins in a row. This is a team that's going to the playoffs. We can worry about winning big, winning small, winning ugly. It don't matter. At this point in the season, we are a playoff-bound team, and anything can happen in the playoffs. I just want to get there. This is not the 13-4 2022 Vikings. There's a lot more going on with this team. I think they're tight. I think that they're ready to go. And yeah, we stubbed our toe. It's going to happen. We're not going to get the first seed. I'm all right with that. I ain't afraid of anybody in the NFC. And this is a team that's going to make a deep run if they stay healthy. So let's keep our eyes on staying healthy and let's fucking skol.
Let's fucking skol. LFS.
Yeah.
What do you got, Cody?
It's Wednesday, so the weekend's kind of far away. We're at the middle of the week. Stay safe. All right. Enjoy this humbling experience that we've been facing the past 2 weeks. All right. When we win, right, everyone's going to be super high. No matter what, it's what happens as Vikings fans. You're going to be like super excited for this team, and I get it, and I'm going to be excited with y'all. I hope Jordan Addison gets more than 3 targets a game, and I got us going still 7 wins. I'm just kidding. I got us going. I'm going to go 12 wins. We're going to be in second place to finish the season, right behind the Lions at them 13. Jared Goff is a little hurt right now, though, so got to keep that thing updated.
What's up with Jordan Love, actually?
Jared Goff is also.
Groin.
But like, is Jordan Love going to miss time?
Yes.
He might. He's limited. So we have a shot to move forward to get above it. I mean, that's not a way I want to get there. I don't know. We're going after a bunch of injuries, but it's football. You got to play through injuries. We have a big one, right?
Yep.
I'm sure there's plenty of Packers fans saying we don't want to beat the Vikings with their left tackle out, but it happens.
Always start TJ Hawkinson from here on out every single game of the week because we're playing a bunch of defenses that are trash against tight ends in fantasy football. Start them. Always don't beat your dog, don't beat your wife. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. Thank you guys who hung out with us instead of watching the World Series. Maybe you did both. Yeah, just thank you for that. We'll be back on Sunday following that Sunday night game for a nice little 3-hour aftercare. So join us for that and tap in. We want to hear from you guys. We don't want to talk as much as we talk tonight. So that's your guys' chance to come in and say what you felt. Michael Fish will be leading that whole thing from beginning to end for 3 hours. Rinaldi, congratulations on your Dodgers World Series. Skol Dodgers. See you guys on Sunday. Let's skol.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Skol.